Activision devs do not play their own game. It's not your dad doesn't support you.
You should know, you worked at a coffee shop, you stupid bitch.
My name is Casey, and absolutely not fucking Tanner, because my parents don't hate me that much.
Hey, did they have just 8 patches lined up, but they just didn't release them because they were on break? No, you moron kids.
Then we'll, of course, get into it. Change your fucking name and get scammed. He's feeling under the weather.
I probably won't say another word until Stay Humble, so have a good pod, Raz. I'll be here listening.
Got it. We are live, boys and girls. Welcome to the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast, episode number 205. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. I am joined, as I sometimes am, and I am again today.
Got it.
I wonder how many episodes this guy has been here for. My good friend Tanner. Tanner, you actually have a different new hat on. When did you buy this hat? Today? Tell us about the new hat.
This is the OG hat. So maybe you should fucking pay attention for once, buddy. This is the OG hat. This is the OG hat.
The OG hat.
This is the OG Black Yeti hat. It's the one I wore in season 1 of the Dropshot.
You're right. Yeah, I think you're right, actually.
Yeah, stupid fuck.
We'll edit that out. If you're right about something, we edit it out. So, just in case you were wondering. So, anyway, welcome to the show. Today, we are doing a Saturday episode, and it is on a very good topic, actually. And I am very excited to get into this. We got pretty lucky with the timing of this little phone call or whatever the fuck, and blog post, because I believe this all occurred yesterday. So we got a chance to go through everything that came out. Twitter is ablaze with rhetoric surrounding these leaks, this call, this mea culpa from Activision. Finally. Tanner, by the way, is it mentioned in here that they finally fucking tweeted about FOV slider?
Oh, we're going to cover it. We will cover all of it.
Okay,
yes.
Good. Yeah, okay.
Of course that's in there.
Got it.
Of course.
Got it. So we are, we're very excited to get into this, and we're very fortunate with the timing of this. So that is what we're doing today. We're going to be talking about the phone call or something. I don't know exactly what happened. Tanner has more details on it. But basically, Infinity Ward, a dev, and Ashton Williams, not really, hopefully, and some other people talked to like Keshav or something, Charlie Intel reps, and they were like, yeah, we're trash. We're a trash development company. This is actually a decent summation of the actual call. They were like, yeah, we're basically a trash company. We're shit. We fucked everything up. This is a disaster. Many of the things they said, we've been telling you for a year and a half, by the way. Once again, Tanner, let me stop before we continue this episode.
Yeah, settle down. We haven't even started yet. Settle down.
I just have to ask you, does it amaze you as much as it amazes me how we are right about so many things before everyone else figures it out? Because you had to have noticed a lot of the shit that Infinity Ward devs said, we've been fucking telling you guys for a year, actually 12 months. Does it surprise you how right we are? Did you notice that?
I've never been wrong.
I'll point it out.
Yeah, I know I've never been wrong about anything. So yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, we're right about all of it, of course we are. One of the things in particular, which we'll make a note of when we get there, just unbelievable that they said this after the fact, after doing it twice. We'll get into it. I'm excited to cover that one. Just fucking idiots, man. Put us in charge of one of these studios and I can do a better job. Yeah,
so we're gonna, trust me, I will remind you when we quote unquote learn something that we've already been telling you for a year. I'll fucking remind you. But let me flag this to say, guys, when we make predictions, we're fucking right about them usually. Okay? We are the leakers. Call me the ghost of hope on Twitter.
Well,
or something, except with a brain. Because we are the actual leakers, man. It's that simple. It's that fucking simple, and you're welcome. And if you stay abreast with the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast, then you won't be blindsided by whatever phone calls, community outreach by Activision like this. Like many people on Twitter are. Many people on Twitter are shocked that these things have come to light, as if it wasn't incredibly obvious for a year. So we will, of course, get into it. That is the topic of today's show. Before we do that, a couple small, quick announcements. We had our first ever monthly Patreon Damascus only scheduled, planned hangout. And it went swimmingly, man. We started off 15, 20 minutes of just kind of hanging out. Then we dove into a fun and exciting icebreaker game, which was basically virtual Cards Against Humanity, which was a lot of fun, actually. I had a good time. The website, the card authors, because it wasn't actually Cards Against Humanity, it was just some rip-off one.
Yeah.
And it shows. I mean, the caliber of the writing was atrocious, bad, but we still made it work. We still had a good time. We did that for an hour or so. And then we got into Vanguard, snipers only, multiplayer customs, free for all. And a couple things about that. Number one, we were able to play on the new maps that you can't play on yet, which was cool. As a very bright, curious individual, I looked at all the maps we could play in the custom lobby as the party leader, as the commander, as the team captain, and I saw 2 new maps, and I was like, oh shit, we could play Casablanca and Gondola. So we definitely played on them things, and that was interesting and fun. I'll speak for myself. I particularly liked Casablanca. Gondola was cool, but it was a little big. But Casablanca was fucking awesome. Tanner pointed this out, which I agreed with. It reminded us of Morocco from Black Ops 4, which honestly wasn't a great map. It was fine. It was better than every MW 2019 map, for example, but that's not saying much. But Casablanca was pretty good. I'd have to play it more to give a full opinion, and we'll talk about that, another time. But that was cool. And then another thing I want to say is the Vanguard private match servers are excellent. Mm-hmm. No one had any connection issues or like weird lag. The host of the server did not have a significant advantage.
Well, you never won once, yeah. You definitely didn't have any advantage.
I won many times.
Did you?
But go off, King.
Yeah, you had a lot of play the games, a lot of wins.
I did, yep. And when I got that Gorenko thing out on DOS House, you guys were all pissed. What are you doing? How is he doing this?
Yeah.
I'm using a semi-auto sniper.
You also used a combat shotgun, which was interesting.
Well,
so as I've said before, Raz claims everyone else ruins customs, Warzone customs, multiplayer customs. He single-handedly ruins customs. It is him and no one else.
First of all, I'm adhering to the rules. I'm using a sniper. I'm having fun. I'm having a good time. In the first match, right? 30 seconds in, I get stunned against the rules. Cool. And then I get knifed. Cool. Also against the rules. And who is it? Tanner. And I say, okay, got it. So we're doing that now. So I don't acquiesce to terrorists. So I said, we're breaking rules, bet. So I equipped a combat shotgun just for Tanner and L, because he was going around knifing. By the way, L was bragging about how many times he won, and he got like actually half of his kills with a knife every single one.
Yeah, I died to him. I died like 10 times to him with a knife, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so L's a piece of garbage, but we all knew that, obviously. But anyways, the Vanguard private lobby, private match servers are fucking excellent. No one had any complaints. That never happened in MW. And we never tried in Cold War, so I have no idea. But that was cool too. So if you guys wanted to, I don't know, do customs, Vanguard is a good platform to do it on. No connection issues whatsoever. And it was a good time. How did you enjoy the hangout, Tanner? The first scheduled monthly.
I thought it was excellent. Yeah.
Chad hangout.
custom snipers only just always hits, man. It is so much fun.
True.
My Nidar car was barking, man. That thing is
was barking.
That thing was barking all night, man. I mean, I got first place 30 times in a row, something like that. It was easy. It was a bot lobby. I don't know. You guys are just trash. I don't know.
Got it.
But no, my Nidar car was hitting, man. Were people not cheating and using a Nidar instead of using the sniper scope? Yeah. Was I doing that? Of course not. I'm using a Nidar. I'm using the Nidar car. So yeah, we had a lot of fun. The new maps were cool. Hit reg was good. Way better than MW. Yeah. Like MW, you can tell immediately. You shoot someone and the bullet hits them a second later. Like, oh, this is going to be horrible. So I expected us to do multiplayer or Modern Warfare customs. That's what I thought people would choose, but we asked everyone, and everyone's like Vanguard. So I'm like, all right, cool. We've never tried Vanguard. Let's do it. And it worked out a lot better. So we'll probably just never do Modern Warfare customs again, because that was dope, actually. That was really fun.
Yeah, for sure. It'll depend on who is there. I mean, as we've said, the Damascus Hangouts are for the Damascus patrons. So if they all wanted MW, then we would do that. Yeah. But don't. But also we wouldn't, because this isn't a democracy.
It could be fun doing a search and destroy thing one time as well. Real sweaty search, try hards. That could be fun. That could be real fun.
Yeah, for a while.
Yeah?
It's just so hard to team balance. You know?
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, I won every free-for-all lobby last night, so what's the difference?
It would have to be like me and all of the worst players in the chat versus all the other decent players besides me. I'm better than all of you. So anyways, yeah, it was a lot of fun. And we had a really good time. So for the next hangout, we are going to do it on a Saturday for sure, because I would like to get absolutely tossed in a way that I will not do on a Friday night, because I have work the next day.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm doing now. Working.
The old grind, man.
Entrepreneur. Rise and grind.
CEO.
But it would be CEO. But it would be cool to do one on a Saturday. I don't think we've really ever done maybe we've done a Saturday hangout once or twice, but very rarely. So that'll be fun. That might be better for certain people's schedules. I know 2 people said that last night, so that would be cool. And then time of day, we'll try and do it earlier. I would want to do it on like a Saturday afternoon, honestly, but we have the podcast, so maybe we would schedule a podcast around that, or we would just do it like after the pod, like, I don't know, Saturday at 3 or something, Pacific time, obviously.
I was thinking that too, do the pod Friday, yeah.
But I think that would be better. Yeah. I think it would be better to just do that. So we'll see. We'll figure it out. But it'll be probably almost certainly on a Saturday next time. So there you go. And then last announcement, we have 1 sponsorship slot left for the Dropshot Invitational number 4. 5 sponsors have submitted the funds to the accounts. So the prize pool is now set. The prize pool will, unless they like charge back or something, which they won't, we will now have a $500 United States dollar prize pool. $100 will be going to, hopefully, tournament organizer Goated Oatsy. Change both of them. So we have 1 slot left. And if you wanted to sponsor the tournament, you would get the opportunity to, we basically would do like a commercial or 2 for you. And then for our tournament overlay, we would have your logo and whatever you want to say, or the name of your Borpa business or your stream or whatever the fuck, on the overlay for the entire tournament during the gameplay sections. I was really proud of the last overlay we did. I would use basically the same thing and just replace the sponsors. That's on the YouTube in the special events playlist if you wanted to go look at what that was. But we would do sponsorships we will be doing sponsorships in exactly the same way. And we have 1 slot left again. So $100, send that thing to the PayPal, and then also DM Tanner on Discord. And then please give him details about what you want it to be. So Slivovitz last time said, I don't actually give a flying fuck what you say about me. Doesn't matter. Don't care. Here's $100 though. So I said, okay, cool. So I made shit up. But then other people like, I think in fact, Twisted Barrel Wood-Fired Pizza sponsored the last tournament. You're muted.
D-Rock,
and yeah, D-Rock, friend of the pod. And he was like, all right, here's the name of my company. Here's my logo. Here's my website. Here's my slogan. And then I incorporated all that too. So whatever the fuck you want to do. And then Deacon was just like, I stream and my dog's cute and give me money. So whatever the fuck you want to do.
He was like, my dog's starving. Donate money for my dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
It didn't work. He didn't get any money. Get fucked, Deacon. Thanks.
Yeah, hopefully not. So, anyway, yeah, whatever you want to do, just DM Tanner. Your spot will not be reserved until you give money. And if you ask, hey, can you hold it until I give you the money? I'll say, no, actually. It is first donate, first served. And if you send it after, if you're the 7th person, I'm pocketing $100.
Thanks for the $100. Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, the prize pool will not increase. Goated Out will not be paid more. I will pocket your funds.
They must want us to go to the
Maldives. And I may or may
Maldives.
not tell you that happened.
Yeah.
I might say, yeah, you're totally a sponsor, man. And just pocket your funds. So anyway, we got 1 slot left. So that'll fill up pretty quick. And then, yeah, I've belabored this. And then also sign up for the goddamn tournament. Do you know how many signups we have at this time, Tanner?
No.
Got it. Okay. Well, we have a lot of
whatever that number is, not
left.
enough, probably.
It's not enough, yeah. So
Sign
unless
up.
you guys want to see a trash mini royale tournament, get your stupid fucking friends and sign up. And also, the more teams there are, the less you're going to get raped by the really demonic teams. Because if we have a full lobby, the highest KD team will not win. I promise. I promise. Because BRs are RNG. But if it's a really small tournament, then the highest KD team will win. Because they're going to be playing multiplayer. And they're going to fuck each team one by one. They won't get third party. There won't be enough teams. So if you want to have fun and be competitive, we need all of you to participate now. So signups close in like 2 weeks. So figure it the fuck out. A little less than that even. I believe it's the 25th of February. But if you want to see the rules and the sign up, it's in the Discord, tournament resources, rules and signups. The link is there. Tanner, any other announcements?
No.
If you're listening for the jingle, here it is.
Yeah.
All right, Tanner, you ready to... You're going to lead this sucker.
I'm not leading
I'm going to be
shit.
you, and you're going to be me. You'll figure it out, man.
I'm not doing it. I'm just going to sit here and not talk then.
Why are you not doing it, man? You wrote all the notes.
You have to do the intro part for it. This is
For
how we
each
always
one?
do the news.
I know it is.
I was talking about, like, leading it off.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Like, all right! Like that.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. That was a pretty good one, man.
Was
I don't
it?
know.
Yeah.
Maybe you should take over. Yeah.
Maybe you should just
Maybe
get
I
the
should
fuck
mute
off
my
the pod.
fucking
Yeah.
mic. Yeah.
Get out of here.
All right. That was too aggressive. Anyway, whatever. Okay, welcome to the show. So, as I said, today we are talking about, I don't know what to call it.
Talking about Call of Duty.
We're talking about Call of Duty. One thing was a blog post, and another thing was a call between some of the devs and some content creators. So I'm gonna that will henceforth be referred to as the call. The call is not publicly available, unfortunately, by the way. I was looking around this morning trying to listen to the call itself instead of relying on Keshav and his team and their squad of splendid writers to disseminate the information on that call. Unfortunately, I have to rely on that. So here we are. But yeah, the call is not publicly available as far as I'm aware. But the details of the call are from a variety of sources. I think most of which is Charlie Intel though. And then also I don't know if this blog post we're about to cover is related to that call.
Yes.
Or if it's just a coincidence.
No, this was posted
related.
after the call. Yeah, this is after the call.
Okay. So we're going to start with that. Yesterday, in tandem with that little call with Keshav and his friends, CallOfDuty.com, the COD website, not just the dev website, but the franchise itself, made a blog post titled Call of Duty Community Update,
Wow.
a Warzone TM special briefing for our players. And here's what it says. As we continue our commitment to supporting a healthy and thriving Warzone experience, we are pleased to share some intel on key community-focused updates, present fixes, and the future vision for the game. So there's some dog shit. There's a little bit more preamble than that. And then here it is the next section. Our priorities for Warzone. The number one priority for our devs is quality of life.
Yeah.
Making changes that allow Warzone to be more accessible and less frustrating for our community. Examples of this include over 30 improvements coming at Season 2's launch, including. And then there's a list of some of the improvements. We're going to take these one by one. First, improvements in all forms of movement, vehicle handling, parachutes deploying at a lower vertical height, increased player mantle height, and collision fixes for both vehicles and players. Most of this makes sense to me. I'm not sure what collision fixes for vehicles and players means, though. What does that mean, Tanner? Do you know?
Well, you know how it's hard. Well, like we've said, this vehicles are great, but a lot of areas of the map, it's so slow getting around because it goes from the ground being flat to a little hill, and when you hit that little incline, your vehicle like stops basically, and then it like takes a while to get going again. I hope it changes like that. I want to just bomb up hills. Yeah, I want to just bomb up hills at the same speed as before. And like some of the bushes, you just like can't drive through. It seems like you should be able to just go right through them. Like I don't know why it's like it's a big tree trunk or something. So that's what that means. So vehicle handling, hopefully that's making just the Vanguard vehicles overall better. Maybe they can turn easier now. Maybe they have more than a one-cylinder engine in there.
Yeah, let's give them suckers some more torque for sure.
Let's torque it up. Yeah, let's get some more torque.
Things up.
Parachutes deploying at a lower vertical height is fucking massive.
Yeah,
I can't tell
that.
you play Warzone for 1 hour, you can name 4 times that you're like, holy shit, man, I wish my parachute deployed. There happens all the time. So that is absolutely massive. I think we even mentioned that when Caldera came out, is like some of these areas you think you should be able to parachute off of, you can't. And then you just, it makes it slower. So that's going to overall make the game faster because you can jump off areas you couldn't before and start floating right down instead of just landing on the rock 10 feet below and running. So that's huge. Big change there. Increased player mantle height. I saw some people talking about this may mean more jump spots on buildings, which could make for some interesting plays. Let's say like you can pull a car up to a building. Maybe now you have a better chance of being able to mantle onto the side of that and then get on the roof, things like that. Just mantle over rocks you otherwise couldn't. I'm sure it will still be absolutely fucking terrible and you can't get over the rocks you think you should be able to. But let's hope there's an actual buff coming to that, because that is, again, very needed. And that's also what we said when Caldera came out. We said, the mountains are fine as long as they make it so you can climb over everything.
Yes.
Well, and there are massive improvements from Verdansk, that is true, but nowhere near where it should be for this type of map with all of these rock ledges and everything. So that's also big. And the fixes for collision, whatever. So those are all good changes there. Really good changes, well needed.
For sure. 100%. I'm wondering, is it possible parachutes deploying at a lower vertical height means that you can pull your chute closer to the ground? Like, let's say you're dropping out of the plane, like when the game first starts. And right now, if you're, these are made up numbers, 10 meters or closer to the ground, your chute won't pull anymore and you'll just splat. Maybe they make that 5 meters or 8 meters. Is that possible that that's also what they mean? Or is it possible that that's what they mean instead? Or do you think it's only what you just said? Because I'm not sure what that means.
I don't know. I'm assuming just when you're like jumping off, because there are so many ledges and rocks around where you should be able to pull your chute on and you just can't. And instead you fall a long distance where you should just die to fall damage, but you don't take any damage and you don't pull your parachute. So I guess it kind of goes hand in hand, really. It's kind of the same thing, really.
Is it the same thing? Yeah, Yeah, it might be.
I mean, basically, because it's just the
Actually,
height
you're
from.
right. I think it is
It's just
the
the
same
height,
thing.
yeah, from how far off the ground you are.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, you're right. It is the same thing.
So,
what am I saying?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's exactly the same thing. I just conceptualized it wrong. Okay.
We'll edit that out. Yeah.
We'll edit it out. Yeah. So yeah, that's obviously good. Better vehicle handling is also obviously good. Increased player mantle height is very good. This will make scaling peak a lot easier and better.
Maybe.
And more accessible, hopefully, if it's implemented well. Because this is something Tanner and I have talked about a lot. It's almost like right now the height at which you can mantle something isn't the problem. It's more like it's inconsistent. Because there are areas where the fucking rock is at my chin and I can mantle that. But then there are other rocks where it's at my kneecap and I can't mantle that. I always felt like on Caldera, that was the bigger problem than the height at which you are allowed to mantle. But maybe I'm just remembering wrong or something. I don't know. But regardless, I like increased player mantle height. I think in either case, that is unambiguously a good thing. And then collision fixes for both vehicles and players is super good. Yeah. Because that's one of the really annoying things about Caldera, and one of the impediments to the mobility on the map is that there are actual like fronds. Frond,
isn't it?
With a D, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a frond. That are made of rebar when they should be fucking leaves, right? Like, I'm driving a Bertha, I mob over a actual concrete divider, no problem. But then there's a palm frond and it dead stop. Cool, man. So if that's what they mean, or part of what they mean by collision fixes, that's great. I should be able to mob through that shit too. Obviously, it's a leaf. That would make it a lot. That would make traversing the map a lot better. It would be more of an improvement than it probably sounds like, because when you hit a palm, it's not just that I have to avoid palm fronds now. It's also not only that, but if I do hit one, I don't come to a dead stop, have to fucking go into reverse, and then have to drive around and lose actually 10 to 15 seconds. So that's a really big quality of life improvement. So that's a very good change too. So next, I believe we talked about gas mask animation no longer interrupting operators who aim down sights. We already discussed this, right? We did. This is good, obviously. This is the only thing that this is what I care most about with the gas mask animation. Yeah. This is the worst thing for the gas mask animation to interrupt. It's taken 18 months. Cool. But we're finally here, so that's good. When inserting
that's day
armor
one
plates,
shit, by the way.
Day one shit. I mean, it's crazy that it's taken this long.
Thanks, but day one, yeah.
It's even more offensive that when Caldera came out, they changed what interrupts the gas mask and didn't include this. Like, oh, you can plate now instead of gas masking, but you can't aim your gun.
Yeah.
Hey, fuck you.
Yeah.
Crazy that was first, but sure. Anyways.
The QA testers weren't even on strike back then either. Why didn't they figure that out?
That's a good question. Yeah, for sure.
That's weird.
Next, when inserting armor plates, it refills a full plate of armor before filling damaged ones. That's great. So if you're fully plated, you get shot and the guy cracks 2.5 plates, and then you insert 1 plate, you will go from having half a plate to 1.5 plates. You won't go from having half a plate to just 1 plate. Very good. I like this change a lot. It makes an armor plate basically always be a net 50 health. It's 50, right? Or is it 75? It's 50.
50. You know what?
50, yeah. So I like that too. What are your thoughts?
This could very slightly raise the time to kill in the game. Not by much, but do you remember when Raven claimed making ADS slower was raising the time to kill? This could actually change it, because if I have a sliver of health left before my first plate is full, and I filled it up before, it would only fill up to that one. It would give me like an extra 10 health or something, extra 5 plates. Now, when I put that sucker in a close range gunfight, that's giving me an extra 50 health. That's actually huge in terms of close range gunfights for time to kill. So that's big. It's not going to be like super noticeable, but it will, I think, raise the actual time to kill just slightly, enough to make a tiny difference. But yeah, this is a good change. Either way, of course, it should have been this way again since launch. I remember this was a hot topic. 2020, like when Warzone came out, people were like, why does it fill plates this way? Why does it not just give me one full plate? So again, day one shit, but we're getting it now. Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Yeah, this is good, and it should have been in the game day one, and we'll get more into that. But yeah, I like this. It could, it would raise the TTK a bit. In a lot of scenarios, not every scenario, but in a lot of them.
People
in
will
any
also
fight where someone plates once, it'll raise the TTK basically.
People will also generally have more plates than I guess too, probably, because less will be wasted plating up for like 8 points.
Not if you full plate.
That's true, because it'll end up changing. Yeah, because once you get to that last one, it'll still have to do that sliver.
Yeah. But still, this is good. I like it. And if you only have like one plate left, this is a really big deal.
True. Yeah, that is big.
Because there are times, it's pretty rare, but there are times when if you have like one plate and like 90% of your second plate, but you only have one plate spare, you're like, fuck. Do I do this for 10% of a plate, or do I just wait until I have fewer plates? I don't know. Now you don't have to ask. So that's cool too.
Yeah.
And again, this is just a quality of life change as they've stated. So yeah, this is good. Not much else to say on that. This is in addition to fixing bugs and issues. No, it's not. In season 2, we are attempting to address, and probably failing at, several issues, including the following. Performance and streaming issues. I don't know what streaming means. Like texture streaming? I don't know exactly what that means. But okay. Including buy station freezes. Cool. Voice chat connectivity. Get a PC. And distorted graphics, which I've been noticing lately with an SPR.
Oh, when you
I get like
in.
fucked graphics. Yeah.
Yeah. That's always happened to me.
Platforms.
That happened on Verdansk too, so that won't be fixed.
Yeah, this won't. Yeah, exactly. As I just said, they'll try. Maybe we'll see though. So specific operator skins being invisible. Okay, cool. Blockages to MDub multiplayer, which is tied to Warzone's launcher. I don't know what blockages means. Like the game being completely
just how it wasn't working for people. Yeah,
not functional. Okay,
not a great way to describe it, but
yeah. There's
we get what they're saying.
There's a blockage to blood flow to these people's brains. Anyways. And then a bunch of trash. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to read this. The COD teams across our studios monitor both public community sentiment and every aspect of day-to-day action happening in our game. No, they don't, by the way. All that helps us identify issues and address them. And that is on top of what is found in development, as is fixed before it is released publicly. I don't understand. That sentence did that sentence make sense to you? And that is on top of what is found in development, as is fixed before it is released publicly.
I feel like the last part doesn't make sense, but I think basically what he's saying is, or they're saying is, they see this shit on Twitter and then they make fixes based on that, but then they also identify issues themselves during development and try to fix those before they're public.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Ultimately, we want to focus on what makes Warzone enjoyable to our community, where gameplay comes first and new features aren't implemented at the cost of stability. That's fucking rich, by the way. That is fucking hilarious. Because I agree that's what you should be doing, But don't tell me that is what you're doing, because it's not, and it's never been, ever, since Warzone came out on day one, ever. There has never been a time in Warzone, ever, where they said, guys, we would love to have new features, but we're going to fix shit first. That's literally, I'm not kidding, never once happened, ever. They have never waited until the game worked to release new trash that we didn't ask for, like the portable decontamination station that we're going to be getting on top of all the bugs we already have. They are in
That's why I pushed it back a week.
Dude, out of the other side of their mouth, while they tell us this, they're saying, oh, season 2 comes out in 2 days. There are currently invisible skins in Warzone. There are currently graphical issues in Warzone. There are currently buy station freezes in Warzone. As they've just said, right? As they've just said, but are they going to fix them first like they're saying they're going to? No! Season 2 comes out in 2 fucking days. Don't tell us that you're going to fix shit before you release new shit when you're literally not going to, and you're saying it out of the other side of your mouth in the same blog post. God, it pisses me off. So on the one hand, I like that they acknowledge that they should be fixing things before they release new things. But what I don't like is that they're not doing it. They're just bald-faced lying to us. Bold-faced, excuse me, lying to us. Completely lying to us.
Yeah.
And they are contradicting themselves all in one web page. This is one article where they are already directly, obviously contradicting themselves. So let me be abundantly clear. Just because this is what they've said they're going to do, and this is what they should do, does not mean they'll do it. They won't do it. They will never, ever fix the game before adding new shit. And
Yeah.
What's worse is the shit they add, most of it is trash we don't want anyway. So instead of fixing bugs like, oh, my game freezes at a buy station, instead of fixing that, they're going to add a fucking portable decontamination station.
That's going to be full of other bugs.
In game, of course. That's also going to introduce 1,000 more bugs. Yeah. What are your thoughts, Tanner?
Yeah, not much else besides what you said. Yeah, it's flat out wrong. I think this may have been the only season. It's probably happened once or twice before, but from what I remember, they don't usually delay shit. So them delaying the season because them claiming they were doing bug fixes was kind of shocking, actually.
True.
So they really are trying to fix the bugs, apparently. But it's like, yeah, it hasn't been that case ever. The seasons come out no matter what. I mean, the Cold War launch.
Sell bundles.
The Cold War integration. We had attachments not working for months. You know,
literally months. Yeah.
Like how was that not figured out before you ported it over? How did you not say, oh shit, we're gonna wait a month before we do this integration because we just realized, oh, this attachment doesn't work. Oh, this says this increases damage range. Oops, this is decreasing overall damage by 60%. Maybe we should fix this before we put it live, right?
Literally
so it's never been the case ever. Never once been the case, but maybe they're starting now. Maybe.
Yeah. You know, if they had said, guys, I swear, I promise, we're going to stop releasing new shit before we fix the game. Here's exactly where gameplay comes first and new features are not implemented at the cost of stability. If they said that and they said, by the way, we're not releasing season 2 with all the new shit we've talked about until the invisible skins are fixed and the buy station freezes are fixed, then I would be happy. I would say you guys have been fucking this up for 18 months, but now you're finally doing something about it. But they're not. They're just actually just lying. This is literally just bullshit. It's complete bullshit. I know you're releasing the season in 2 days. Don't tell me you're going to delay things. Don't tell me gameplay comes first because you are implementing new features at the cost of stability. I hate them. I hate them.
And there will be a lot of new bugs. There will be probably there will be some new operator that comes out this season that's probably invisible.
Yeah.
It always happens.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So cool. Sick company. I'll also add quickly, this is all Activision. This is not any development team's fault. The dev teams are probably, besides Infinity Ward, fuck that studio. The dev teams are probably doing their best, and they're like, again, they have to sell bundles. So Activision's like, you're coming out with a fucking season 2 before February 20th. We got to sell bundles. And the dev teams are like, guys, we simply don't have time. We can't. I would love, as a dev, this is what the devs are saying. I would love to fix the current game before we release new shit, but I literally can't because of my publisher fucking cracking the whip on my back.
Yeah.
So let me be abundantly clear. Like most problems with Warzone and Call of Duty in general, it's the publisher's fault. So that is obviously the case here as well. So anyways, another priority is community communication. This debrief, our blogs, Raven's patch notes. I'm glad they singled out Raven because Raven has the best patch notes. And the work of our dedicated social media, and community management teams are all part of keeping you, the player, Call of Duty tweets once a month, by the way, the player informed of what is happening in Warzone, Vanguard, and other Call of Duty games. This I largely agree with. I think they have been doing a way better job of communicating with the community. There have been some very serious oversights and lapses, but it is pretty clear to me that since Caldera came out, the communication with the consumer, us, the player, has been way better than it was like during any time in Verdansk, I would say. What do you think, Tanner?
Oh, it's been absolutely the best we've ever seen it. Yeah. In recent memory. Yeah. Raven's done a good job. They have started talking more about things they feel like they usually wouldn't. Like the next thing we're gonna get into here and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
yes.
But yeah, they've definitely done better in recent months. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, next. The next header in this blog post. Addressing top community requests. Okay, we'll see. In addition to performance improvements across all platforms, we've heard the community loud and clear on their other top requests for Warzone.
By the way, there won't be any performance increases. I will get 10 frames less when Season 2 comes out, without a doubt.
Almost certainly.
They always claim performance improvements. My frames are down 50 since Caldera dropped. Stop. It's not getting better ever. Stop.
Absolutely true. Yeah. So we've heard the community loud and clear on their other top requests for Warzone. The number one request they've gotten correct here. Field of view sliders on consoles is one of them. Adding FOV on console in Warzone creates major performance impacts for old gen console players. We told you that. Our goal is for Warzone to be a performant experience on all platforms. So we do not plan to implement an FOV slider on console at this time. We told you that too. And what else we told you, Tanner told you, is Tanner told Call of Duty. Tanner told Call of Duty and Activision, again, months ago, hey, we know you're not adding an FOV slider to console because of the exact reason you just said. The console wouldn't run. It would explode. It would overheat. Why don't you just fucking say that so everyone stops bitching to you?
Yeah.
They've finally done it, which is good, but why did it take this long? But we told you literally everything. All of that we told you. Hey, if you didn't believe us, don't know why, but yeah, your fucking 10-year-old Xbox 360 with 2 megabytes of video VRAM is not going to have 120 FOV on fucking Caldera. When I get 100 frames, maybe. Like, this is so absurd. What are your thoughts, Tanner?
Yeah.
They finally listened to you.
Well, it is weird because there are actually a lot of tests on YouTube where people test the field of view and it didn't make your frames any worse. But obviously, that's totally dependent on what system they're on.
Yeah.
So, it's probably just something to do with essentially like the built-in graphics card on the console are probably a lot worse than like the actual, like the processor of the console is, something like that. So graphically it can't, when you increase the field of view, they can't handle it. But like PCs, if you have a decent PC, it doesn't make like any difference in your frame rate. Obviously that's not the case for consoles. Because yeah, they did do testing on this and try to get it to work. And there's more that they didn't put in this blog post that we'll talk about here in a second. But yeah, it's just, yeah. I just wish, if anything, they said this like literally a year ago. People have been asking for this since the game fucking came out.
Yep.
I mean, just you should have it even, because obviously they knew not to add it in at launch because of what reason? Because of performance impacts, right? Just say on launch, oh yeah, there's no plans for a field of view slider. It'll probably never come. There are major performance issues. Also, they do single-handedly point out old gen consoles. So this could run on the newer consoles, but it's obvious they don't want to do that. Which again, once we're done with this blog post, there's some other things with field of view that were mentioned that we'll talk about.
Yeah, exactly. And this isn't their fault. Like them not adding an FOV slider to console. It's like they're not doing that to be mean. It's like there's actually nothing they can do except communicate this fact way sooner. So they should have, but we finally heard it, so good. Hopefully every tweet, I actually don't care what Call of Duty's tweets replies are, but stop complaining about it. It's never happening. It's not possible to happen. It just isn't possible, guys. Anyways, next.
You know what's funny, by the way? True Game Data did some testing on this because he was like, listen, I understand you guys find it annoying, but bottom line, if you're a 0.9 KD player, having a higher field of view is not going to turn you into a 3.0 KD player. It's not going to make you that much better. Like there's people like Reed Boy out there that are cracked at the game that were playing on 80 field of view for years. And so True Game Data tested this, and he's like, I'm going to play for like a week on 80 field of view on my PC and see what my KD is. And he did it for like a day or two, and his KD was like even higher. So it does, I understand that it's annoying. I do. It's terrible to look at. Believe me, it's terrible to watch. But you're not just going to turn into some cracked out. You're not going to turn into Aiden or Joe all of a sudden because you have higher field of view. If you're not good now, it's not going to help you. I'm sorry.
True. Yeah. And another thing that like we'll never talk about is like having a smaller FOV, especially in Warzone, in fact, is not all bad. This is the reason some people run like independent versus affected ADS field of view, is because 80 FOV or lower, I'll say 80 versus 120. 80 FOV has the disadvantage of less peripheral vision. So there could be someone that I could see with 120 that you can't because you're on 80 looking at the same spot. But the advantage is everything on your screen is larger and it's easier to see somebody or something if it is in your field of view when your field of view is smaller, because it is less of the map on the same area of monitor or TV or 60-inch TV and surround sound speakers that you're playing on. So there are some advantages to having a smaller, narrower field of view. It's probably better to be on a higher field of view. I'll grant that.
Yeah,
but
it's definitely better.
It's not like being 80 FOV is 100% downside. There is an upside to it. There is an advantage over 120. You see things from
further away a lot easier, yeah.
Way easier. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, that's a good point too. So next they say, we also understand that we aren't directly speaking to every community request in official communications, but we are reaffirming our commitment to listening to these concerns and ensuring vigorous and beneficial internal discussions that the developers have about them before solutions, whenever possible, are implemented. This is an interesting note that I actually am pleased that they've added. So one thing they are obviously talking about here, for example, is skill-based matchmaking. We also understand we aren't directly speaking to every community request in official communications. One of the things they are undoubtedly talking about here is SBMM. They don't want to acknowledge it exists, but they're saying here, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, we hear you guys about SBMM. We'll try and do something about it, maybe. But it's like we're not ignoring you because we don't know that you're talking about it. SBMM is one of the examples of what an issue that they're referring to here. Maybe, I don't know. I can't really think of any other issue that people talk about that they don't want to talk about themselves they're referring to here. Can you think of anything else? Do you get what I'm saying, Tanner?
Yeah,
Am I making sense?
Yeah. I can't think of any other. I mean, just a lot of things, really. It's like, yeah, obviously not going to point out every single thing people have issues with. Like, they're not going to talk about adding extra health or some shit, probably, because some people want that. You just think it's most things they're just not going to publicly talk about, yeah.
Yeah, so that I'm glad they said that, because that's probably true. They definitely know that people bitch about SBMM. I mean, just because they haven't acknowledged it doesn't mean that they don't hear you. That's kind of the point they're making. I already knew that. People with brains already know that they know we complain about SBMM, but it's nice that they added that. So there you go. Season 2 will be the next major step in continuously improving your game experience. The game will perform worse when Season 2 comes out than it does now, by the way. So, and we continue to greatly value the feedback from our community. Okay. Future plans. Lastly, we also wanted to give a peek into what is on the horizon for COD 2022. The team is excited to confirm some additional news below. This year's COD is a sequel to MW 2019. The new game and a new Warzone experience are designed together from the ground up. We told you that. Expect a massive evolution of BR with all new play space, new map, we told you that, and a new sandbox mode, Tarkov thing. We covered that. We didn't predict a new sandbox mode, though. There's one thing we didn't. A new engine powers both the new Call of Duty game release and Warzone. We told you that. By the way, literally a year ago, I said, actually, longer than that. I said, I expect Warzone 2 to come out on Infinity Ward's next title. Maybe it was Tanner that first said it, but we agreed. We said this a month, 2 months after Warzone came out? Oops. Oracles. Nostradamus. Tanner, you're muted.
Got it. Yeah, we called that very early on.
Super early. We're demons. We have giant galaxy brains. We're galaxy brain meta gunsmith gurus. Or whatever the fuck they had said. Anyways, we're right. We have giant brains. Acknowledge it. Thanks. And then let's see. Development on both the new Call of Duty and the Warzone experience is being led by Infinity Ward. Called that too. A new engine powers both the new Call of Duty game release and Warzone. Okay, I did read that. Yeah. So really the only thing we didn't already tell you more than a year ago is about this new sandbox mode. I can't think of anything other than the purported leaked Tarkov-like Call of Duty experience being referred to here. I can't imagine what else that would mean. Now, let us, Tanner and I were talking about this morning. Let me take the opportunity to tell you guys, by the way, Call of Duty will not have a Tarkov-like mode. You can call it a sandbox mode or whatever the fuck you want. Don't say it's going to be like Tarkov. Tarkov, you get shot in the head once, you're dead. You lose all of your gear. You can't sprint forever. You can die of thirst or starvation.
Yeah.
There is so much about Tarkov that this game will never implement ever in any mode ever. So if there's going to be a new sandbox mode, cool. It won't be like Tarkov, though. But then that raises the question, what could a new sandbox mode related to a battle royale in Call of Duty mean? So once again, I'm going to read this sentence. Expect a massive evolution of battle royale with all new play space and a new sandbox mode. What do you think that means, Tanner?
I think if anything, what we'll get is something maybe similar to what Battlefield 2042 has with their is it Portal, where you can kind of do customization shit?
Yeah,
I feel like if
it's called
anything,
Portal, yeah.
I feel like if anything, that's what we'll be getting. Something closer to that, I can guarantee. Yeah, it's like Charlie Intel was one of the first ones, I think, to start throwing around like this, oh, it's like a Tarkov type mode. I guarantee Keshov has never once loaded up the game of Tarkov. It's just something that, like, maybe it was a leaker, Tom Henderson, somebody said, and then everyone else followed with it and kept saying, oh, Tarkov type mode. It will be nothing similar to Escape from Tarkov. I've never been more sure of anything. Nothing even fucking close.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, Call of Duty multiplayer now is, I guess, almost Tarkov-like mode. Because in Tarkov, you choose your gun and go in, and in Call of Duty, there's loadouts, and then you bring that gun into the game, right? So it's pretty similar. Call of Duty is like Tarkov.
First-person perspective, and you shoot bullets.
It's a first-person shooter with guns, yeah. So it's already a Tarkov-style game mode, actually. Yeah, so I think this will be...
Can you imagine a fucking 12-year-old COD player weapon jamming?
Or when they're bolt jams from their gun overheating from firing too many fully automatic rounds in a short period of time, yeah. With their suppressor glowing red hot, yeah.
Yep.
Won't be anything close to Tarkov. And I don't want it to be. It's Call of Duty. Stop. Just stop. Let Tarkov be Tarkov. Exactly. Be your shit little arcade shooter, Call of Duty. Just stop.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's my guess. If anything, this is going to be closer to something like Portal, where we're getting like customization. You can kind of make your own lobbies maybe or something. Just like an open type world. I don't know. I would like for them to do something like H1Z1 survival, some shit like sandbox mode like that. But again, I don't think Call of Duty will ever make that. That's like a survival type genre. That's not really who they are. So I can't see this being anything more than something very similar to Battlefield 2042's version of Portal.
Or even maybe something like, probably not, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. Halo 3, I don't know if the newer Halos have this, but in Halo 3 there was something called Forge mode, and you could like go into a map and like remove buildings and like add your own like shit. So like, for example, in Halo 3, people would make floating in the sky like racetracks, and then you would create a game mode with it. So you would spawn a bunch of mongooses, quads, like in an area. You would set spawns in that area, and then you would set like a hard point at the end of the track, and you had to be in the hard point for only 1 second to win. So it was like, it was hard point, but it was a race. That's all it was.
Yeah.
You'd get on the mongoose, and then you would drive through the track, and you would try not to fall, and then you would get to the hard point for 1 second, and then you win. So it's the first to the finish line wins. That was like Halo 3 Forge mode, which is very cool, actually. I don't know if that would constitute a sandbox-like mode, but maybe something like that. But what this could mean, because it's related to a massive evolution of Battle Royale, I don't know what that could mean for a sandbox mode. I'm excited for it because, well, I'm excited for it because worst case scenario, it's trash and I don't play it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like they're going to get rid of Warzone.
And we still have Warzone, yeah.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Whatever they're doing, it's probably not a bad thing, but it's just, it may be a flop, you know? It may be a massive flop like their Spec Ops mode or whatever it was in MW that nobody played. Could just be similar to something like that.
Exactly. But, so that'll be cool, and I'm excited to hear that. But everything else, woefully unsurprised by, I told you a year ago.
Well, the only thing that is kind of surprising is they've confirmed now also that the Warzone experience, Warzone is being led by Infinity Ward. Once Warzone 2 comes out, Raven is back as a supporting studio, and they're not in charge of Warzone anymore. So who knows how long that'll be, if IDub will be in charge for a year. Maybe it will be better this year, because Raven will be helping from the start, but I don't know. It's at that point now where MW was so long ago that people forgot how much they hate Infinity Ward, and now they're all saying again Infinity Ward is the best COD studio, which in terms of an actual developed games, yes, Infinity Ward is better than Sledgehammer and Treyarch by a mile, in my opinion. But on Warzone, they did not do a good job. They did like nothing to the game. There's been a lot of issues under Raven, but a lot of them were things like, hey, the Cold War gun's coming over and shit like that. That's just That's all on Activision. So I hope Infinity Ward does do a good job this year and has learned. I hope their newest community manager writes patch notes and things and will do a better job than Ashton did for us. Maybe we'll know what's going on. Maybe really we are getting so many fucking changes every week and Ashton was just like, I don't feel like putting those in the patch notes. I don't want to type that much. And we are just getting all of these changes that we never knew about.
True, it's possible.
It could have been. We could have been getting
that literally
massive weekly patches
times,
because Ashton just didn't tell us because she was fucking terrible at her job and somehow got promoted to Microsoft.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, so cool. So that'll be interesting to see how Infinity Ward handles Warzone this time around.
Yeah, I mean, so if I didn't know anything about Infinity Ward or any of the studios, and it was like, okay, Warzone 2 is going to be made by one of the dev teams for Call of Duty, and they're going to choose the biggest dev team with the most resources. If that's all I knew, I would say, oh, great, that's best case scenario. That's what you would want. But I just also know Infinity Ward, and I'm very scorned by the first, year of Warzone. So I think they'll do a better job. I find it almost inconceivable that Infinity Ward would do worse than they did last time.
Yeah.
Put it that way. But how well will they do remains to be seen. But anyways, that's it for the blog post. Cool. Some good shit in here. Pretty much everything they said is good. I'm just mad that they lied to us. I find that it's insulting to tell us, to tell me. It's insulting to my intelligence to tell me we're going to fix the game before we implement new features. And then, by the way, Season 2 comes out in 2 days, and the game is very broken right now. It's just insulting. But besides that, it's a pretty good blog post, I guess.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's just unsurprising again, so.
Yep.
All right. Next. Now we're getting into the call. The call between Charlie Intel, some other people, and Warzone Call of Duty devs. Charlie Intel wrote a number of articles, the first of which is major Warzone quality of life updates in Season 2. Yeah. Armor plates, stuns, and more. Tanner, why don't you tell us about these quality of life updates coming in Season 2?
Yeah, so a lot of these we already covered in the blog post, but there's a few that weren't in there that were in this call, and Charlie Intel has pointed them out. So, first one here, this is interesting. New restrictions. Dead silence and stun grenades have been removed from Vanguard Royale. People have said, this is probably not confirmed, that this kind of may be a test area for them to determine if they want to remove these from regular BR. Because they did say that, I think when Caldera came out, that they continue to monitor dead silence and go from there. And, they did take out stopping power, so it's possible they end up just entirely removing something. So this could be the test ground for that, to see if these are just going to be gone. I can't see stun grenades going anywhere in regular BR, unfortunately. But I can see dead silence being removed at a point. So that's interesting to see, and I do hope they're just both fucking gone from regular BR soon, yeah.
Where in the article is this? Or is this in your notes?
It's in the article. It's in that second link. It's down at the bullet points. There's a bullet point list of quality of life changes.
I see stunned fix. Oh, no, okay, restrictions.
Look right above it, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, weird that they would do this for just Vanguard Royale.
Uh-huh.
I kind of understand it, because Vanguard Royale is the less serious, basically, kind of playground for Warzone, so they can kind of test shit there, and then if it goes well, they put it into regular BR. So it would make sense that this would be the first step to that coming to regular Warzone. It is very weird to take dead silence only out of Vanguard Royale.
Yeah, because it's like Vanguard Royale is supposed to be a mode with only Vanguard stuff, but Dead Silence is a field upgrade in Vanguard. So they're not directly going in line with all of that anyways. So this could be then, if you look at it that way, just like a precursor to maybe Dead Silence and stuns being removed from regular BR. Because those have been a very hot topic for a very long time. you know, again, just mention it and say, we hear you guys talking about, well, I guess they did talk about dead silence at one time. Wasn't that when they said the shit about there could be, they used some stupid word like drastic changes to the game if it's removed or something just.
Oh my God.
It was such a meme thing to say. Grim always makes jokes about it. I can't think of what it is right now.
I don't remember. I know what you're talking about. They said
it's like a mass something.
I won't remember exactly.
Like another word for a mass change. I don't know, but it was like a really funny meme shit that they said. So.
I remember laughing at them.
It was outrageous.
We covered it.
Mass destabilization. That's what it was. They called it a mass destabilization of Dead Silence was. I think that was about Deaddy. I'm pretty sure. So, anyways, they seem to think it's important. They don't play the game, of course. But yeah, so next up here, this is a big one for us. Aim assist is molding right now. Aim assist now scales appropriately while stunned. Won't increase aim assist strength. So guess what we just found out? Aim assist was stronger when you're stunned. They just confirmed it by saying that. It wasn't the same, it was stronger. Yeah, exactly, Jake. Day one shit. Stuns have been fucking broken as shit against K-Bam players and so overpowered on controllers since day one. Why did it take so long to fix it? Because 85% of the people that play this game are on a controller and don't complain about it, of course. There we go. Boom. Finally. Will it be enough? Probably not.
Well, here's the thing, right? This is good because, you know, if you're stunned, you shouldn't be impacted more if you're on one input versus another. So a stun should impact K-Bam and controller equally. Right now, it doesn't. It's way easier if you're stunned on a controller. However, this is a good start, and they should do this, but they also need to way nerf stuns as well, or take them out of the fucking game. And do you think it's a coincidence that they're starting to take stuns out of Warzone, even if it's starting with Vanguard Royale only, while they also make them more annoying for controller players? No! Of course that's not a coincidence. True. Because if controller players have been dealing with the stun problem that K-Bam players have dealt with since day one, there would be outrage, the likes of which you have seldom seen before. Probably on par with the FOV slider shit.
There'd be a petition.
Everyone would be using stuns.
Yeah.
Everyone would be using stuns if they were as good against controller as they are against keyboard and mouse. Mm-hmm. So here's what I expect to happen. One of two things. Number one, aim assist won't scale appropriately. You'll still be at a massive advantage if you're stunned on a controller versus a keyboard and mouse. And then that's it. So that's possibility number one. Possibility number two, it's actually impossible to do anything if you get stunned on controller also now. And then in 2 days, they remove stuns from regular BR also. True. Because the entire player base all of a sudden has come to realize what's been happening to me the entire time, which is that if you get stunned, you can just start clapping.
Yep. Just
you don't need your
lean
hands.
Back in your chair and just let it kill you because you can't do anything about it. That's what we do.
Literally nothing can be done. Yeah. So those are the two possibilities. That's it, though. Yeah, there is no chance that they actually make stuns as effective against a controller as a keyboard and mouse and also leave stuns in the game. There's no chance. Everyone on Twitter will be up their ass. As they should be, because stuns are way too strong.
Yeah.
So I'm glad. I'm good.
Yeah. They're for sure coming out of the game. You're right.
Yeah. If they actually do the stun fix, they will for sure be removed from the game, or stuns will be massively nerfed. And either way, good. Yeah. Either way, better than what we're doing now. So this is great. Yeah. Good.
Yeah. And that's true, because also with the buff to like stim shot and stuff, a lot of people are running those. I can't even tell you the last time I got stunned on Caldera, actually. So it is pretty much like they're just slowly getting the player base off of stuns, and they're gonna be like, oh, okay, stuns are gone now. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. Next one here. Nerfs to the fighter planes and gas canisters. Not much to say there. The gas canisters is surprising, I'll say. Hopefully a lower explosion radius, and the fighter planes, we'll see if they actually get nerfed. Again, I don't care. I stay off of Vanguard Royale, and you should too if you're listening to this.
I keep that thing off me for sure.
On top of that, they're buffing the anti-air cannons. That's good for taking down the planes, especially when these bombers come in. But again, Vanguard Royale only, so cool. Don't play it. Doesn't matter to me.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say I've never seen an anti-air cannon before.
Oh, it's those
only
vehicles.
In Vanguard Royale. Oh,
well,
okay, just on the vehicles.
Well, probably.
I know it's on the vehicles, yeah.
It's on both, probably, because I think the anti-air thing mounted on the vehicles is the same as the ground ones. I'm not sure. I've never gotten one of the ground-mounted ones,
I've never seen one of the ground ones, I don't think.
They're all over the map. You don't ever... Whenever you're near one, there's no plane, so it doesn't matter. When you're getting gunned down by a plane in Vanguard Royale, there's not one within 800 meters.
Correct.
So
yes, they despawn if you're getting shot by a plane.
They despawn, yeah. Final circle is less likely to end on peak. That's huge, actually. We had also talked about that said, why does it seem like so many of the circles end like on the side of the mountain? So that's good. Less, if they're actually adding the ability to mantle and like better movement mechanics on peak, and then also now it's less likely to end there, I think those are two good things right there.
For sure. And by the way, let's also think about this for a second, guys. If they are changing the game to have circles be less likely to end somewhere, that implies that there are probabilities to where circles start, where second circle starts, where third circle starts, and where they end. Yeah. It is not just totally random. I feel like most people who play a lot of Warzone kind of figured this out, but the importance of stressing this is that when every first circle, half of the circle in the first circle is completely out of the boundaries of the map, that is within Activision's control to not let happen, and they don't care, and they do it anyway. So they are in control of likelihoods of where circles will be. So the next time the circle is 1/10 in the map and the rest of the first fucking zone is in the Pacific Ocean, it is Activision's fault, and they have programmed it that way to be more likely to end that way, or start that way, rather. So yeah, this is good though. I would prefer, honestly, it be totally random, but it's obviously not totally random right now. I think the probability is higher than average that it ends at peak. So if it were currently random and then they de-stressed peak even more, I would say don't do that. But it seems like peak is more favored to end. It's more favored to end at peak right now, and now they're like bringing it down to average.
Yeah,
that's good. So yeah, this is good to see, and I like it for sure.
Yeah, so all those changes, by the way, that we just talked about will be in with the launch of Season 2, which is, of course, Valentine's Day, the 14th at 9 a.m. Pacific. Kind of a different launch time this week. So, and then here are a few things they also didn't talk about that are coming with the Season 2 Reloaded, which will be, sometime in April, or March, I mean. So coming then, downed. When you are downed and you are revived, resurrected as they call it, change it, you will be able to choose when you come up from that if you're prone or crouch, because I believe now it automatically crouches or stands, right? Because I know when I'm getting revived, I'm always spamming the prone button because I know I'm going to pop up and be standing.
Stand, yeah.
So this I don't know if this is going to be like literally in the settings or if you just choose as you're being revived what it is. I'm not really sure how that's going to work, but that is a nice thing to have.
I don't know if that's what that means. Because I was kind of thinking...
what it means. No, it is. Yeah.
I was thinking it meant like if you are downed, you could either prone or crouch, but I guess you're actually probably right.
I guess that's why they call it resurrected. So when you're fully revived and then you're alive, you're either prone or crouch.
Okay.
Yeah, they explained it weird in this. There was a tweet about it that made it much more clear. That's what it meant. I don't know why they put it that way in here.
Well, that's good. I like that.
That happened to me yesterday. Cope revived me literally 3 times behind this little wooden barrel because we were getting beamed from 3 angles by 3 teams. One of the times I died, it's because I popped up and couldn't get prone fast enough, and the guy put 1 bullet into me, and then I was right back down again.
Yeah,
so that's annoying. A nice little quality of life change. That's coming with, again, season 2 reloaded in a month or so.
Yeah.
Gas mask. Sure. You will be able to drop your gas mask and give it to a teammate or something if you want. Again, should have been in with when gas masks were put into Warzone in 2020, but cool. I'm glad we can finally drop those. That's a nice little quality of life change.
Yeah, that is cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Another one here. Day 1 shit. Pick up armor from an armor satchel. So right now, if you have a satchel and you have 0 plates and you kill a guy that had a satchel, cool, doesn't matter. You can't get the plates. That's always been dumb, right? There's a satchel sitting on the ground. You can't get plates from that. Now you will. I don't know how that works. If it's like you press on the satchel and it'll refill your plates, maybe. If you just essentially pick up that other satchel entirely and then you drop one that's empty. Don't know how it's going to work.
That's a good question.
But regardless, the ability to get plates from a satchel is massive when you already have one. That's huge. Should have already been in the game.
I agree. I think the easiest way for them to probably do this is program it so that if you have a satchel and you die, you drop a satchel and then also you drop a stack of 8 plates. But maybe that would actually be creating more plates because that's 16 total.
Because already now there's you kill someone that has a satchel, there's usually like a couple plates next to them too. So it's weird.
Yeah, you're right.
So I don't know how it works right now compared to what it's going to change to. I don't know if you kill someone and they had 0 plates, if all of a sudden they'll have 8 then because they had a satchel. I don't know.
Yeah, that'll be weird. No matter what, I like it though.
Yeah.
No matter what, it'll be good. Unless it's buggy, which it will be. But if it works well, if it works as intended, this will be good. Yeah. That's a quality of life change. Again, that's really good.
Yeah.
It is absurd to be in a situation where you'd rather not have a satchel than have one.
Yeah.
And that situation is when you have a satchel, but you're out of plates.
Exactly.
And then you kill someone who had a satchel. You'd literally rather not have a satchel in that situation, which is so dumb. So yeah, this is good.
It makes no sense. Yeah. So moving on here, as we just read with the blog post, they want to fix everything before they add in all the new season 2, all the changes that they're going to make, because they care about fixing things first, right? So guess what's not coming with the launch of Season 2 when we get all the new operators, the new guns, the new shit in the store? Guess what's not coming? Oh, bug fixes. Performance and streaming issues, including buy station freezes, voice chat connectivity, and distorted graphics. Oh, that's coming with Season 2 Reloaded? Oh, and also operator skins being invisible at certain distance. That's not being fixed until Season 2 Reloaded, but they just said in that blog post, they're fixing things before new content, right? Just right away contradicting themselves, right away. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable, man.
Yep. That's fucking funny.
Like Raz was saying,
those dots.
It's fucking outrageous, man. And the same person that wrote that is probably the same person who talked about all of this on this call that Charlie Intel got these notes from.
Yeah. Dude, I didn't even connect those dots, but you're right. These changes, including that performance change Tanner just read, is scheduled for Season 2.5, which is Season 2 Reloaded. That's fucking rich.
And you notice, by the way, that they in their blog post just said, oh, these changes are coming in Season 2, but Charlie Intel said they're coming in Season 2 Reloaded. They're not coming with the launch of Season 2. Because they want to make it sound like, oh, we're doing all these changes. Wrong.
Yeah, true.
They're getting the content first, and we're getting the changes later. Got it.
Sick, man.
Charlie Intel said that, what Jake is talking about. That was one of their tweets.
Got it.
But yeah, and then also the issues with Modern Warfare multiplayer not working again, coming after we get more content, and it's coming later with Season 2 Reloaded. So just lies all around there. But yeah, so that's pretty. It's just.
It's so stupid.
It's outrageous.
It's just so fucking insulting. It's insulting.
They think we're stupid. They think people don't read and put these two together. Maybe they don't. Maybe we're the first people to put that together. I don't know.
I mean, it's possible.
It's possible.
The fact that people are shocked by the vast majority of this would imply that, in fact, they are pulling one over on many of the people, including apparently Charlie Intel, who tweeted, "Never been more confident in the future of COD." That is hilarious.
Yep.
I mean, it's going to be a disaster, but COD's going to, continue to be successful or whatever. But still, I mean, yeah, just lying to our faces, but we've said enough on that. Yeah. So
yeah,
that's it for that article. Next here is this is an article on the FOV slider.
We're not going to use that article. We're just going to go off these tweets down below here. So yeah, we already talked about the field of view slider, but here's some more that wasn't mentioned in that blog. This is from Charlie Intel again. They were on the call. This is what they heard. So developers also confirmed the last gen consoles are currently the biggest player base. So that's why they're all complaining about field of view slider. That's what takes up the vast majority of Warzone players is last gen old consoles. So they were asked why not next gen FOV slider for the newer consoles. They said we don't want to further increase the skill gap. They also said field of view slider benefits high skilled players mainly. Like I said, it's not going to make a shit player better. They know that, but the console players with a 0.5 KD don't understand that. They think they'll turn into Aiden. So that also confirms the fact that they didn't say it's because they couldn't do it only next gen. I think kind of confirms that it is possible to do it for next gen consoles, but they're choosing not to, which is interesting because the thing always has been that people have said it's because it's on like the same client basically. So like I think even Charlie Intel said that the last gen console game is the same as the current, but it's obvious that it's somewhat not, and they could make that change, but they're choosing not to. So yeah, that's kind of odd. That surprised me.
I have to ask, I think I know the answer. Did the devs of this call know that this information was going to become public?
There was a call and they had like a 24-hour period where they couldn't discuss it, and basically all the content creators can get their YouTube videos ready and then put them out at a certain time when the thing lifted. When the embargo lifted. So yeah, all of this was going to be like public knowledge. So do you think that sways some of their answers? Is that what you're getting at?
Well, no. What I'm getting at is I am fucking shocked that they just admitted it, that they don't want to increase the skill gap further. I mean, again, this is something Tanner and I have been telling you since the podcast started. This is even before Warzone came out, is that a lot of the things they do, a lot of the changes they make, not only do they make them to keep the skill gap the same, but they will in fact add things in to shrink the skill gap. Why? Because, quote, they don't want to further increase the skill gap. They want things to be fairly narrow so that even the worst player imaginable gets their day in the spotlight or whatever. Why are there stuns in the gulag when everyone complains about them, for example? Here's your answer. We don't want to further increase the skill gap. Because if you have some stun in a gulag, you can just throw that thing in this little box you're in, and if you happen to stun the other guy, they're fucked. What does that do? Shrink the skill gap. I am just shocked that they were just willing to admit that they make decisions based on widening or shrinking the skill gap.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they just came out and fucking said it. Is that not... I find that shocking. Do you, Tanner? Are you not as surprised as I am?
Yeah, that is shocking when you look at it that way. I hadn't thought about it, so that is a good point. And yeah, like Charlie Intel also said, this high skill comment is getting traction. They stated that high skill players understand field of view slider and how it impacts the gameplay, while casual players don't. And bridging that gap is a problem and challenge of itself. True. That's what we're saying, is they don't understand it's really not going to make them any better. I understand that you will miss people, and there are times you will die because you don't have a field of view slider. That does happen, but it's not going to turn you into a high-skilled player. It's just not. People on PC generally are higher skilled because if they're that good at a game and really like it that much, what are they going to do? They're going to spend $2,000+ on a PC to play that game versus, Jerry, the 60-year-old, who just got off his shift at the steel mill is going to stick to his console and then bitch about the field of view slider even though he has a 0.28 KD because he doesn't understand and isn't willing to put in the money for a PC anyways and wouldn't get any good. It wouldn't get any better.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. The people, this has always been the case. If you play video games on a computer, in general, you're a better video game player.
You're more of a hardcore gamer, yeah.
Exactly, yes. Who are the types of people who play video games on computers? People who are willing to spend way more money on gaming than a console player because a PC costs more than a console. So if you're more likely to spend a fuck ton of money on video games, guess what? You probably really like video games. You probably play them a lot. And therefore you're probably better on average. That's always been true. Still true now. So yeah, that is something for sure. But yeah, again, I'm shocked that they said it. But look, I am not surprised that's the reason why FOV slider is not coming to next gen console. In fact, we've been saying that, right?
Yeah.
That is not surprising to me. But I am glad that they are actually just being candid and being honest. Hey, I already knew you guys make decisions to not widen the skill gap further. We already knew that. I'm glad you're being honest about it now. And it's not that I'm disappointed that this is the reason, because I already knew this was the reason. That's the point I'm trying to make. So don't be disappointed that, oh man, we're not getting FOV slider on next gen consoles because they don't want to widen the skill gap. Fuck, that really sucks, man. Hey, you should have already known that. Instead, change your perspective. Be glad that they're at least being honest with you. That's the based perspective to take here.
Yeah.
Because they're never going to want to widen the skill gap too much. And I want you also, listener, to remember this quote: we don't want to further increase the skill gap. Whenever you're confused about some trash, dog shit mechanic in Call of Duty or Warzone, operator abilities in BO4 that you're guaranteed to get, by the way. The gulag and stuns. The gulag with akimbo pistols where you can't aim even if you wanted to. Why is all of this RNG trash dice roll mechanics in the game? Quote, we don't want to further increase the skill gap. I care less about this with relationship to the FOV slider than I do that it is revealing the thought process behind many of their decisions. Remember that.
Yeah.
This tweet is not just about FOV sliders. That is not the biggest takeaway here. The biggest takeaway is don't forget what we've been telling you since the podcast started. If you don't believe us, believe the Call of Duty developers themselves. Quote, we don't want to further increase the skill gap. Remember that the next time you're confused about a trash dog shit mechanic in Warzone that you die to some rat who's fucking far worse than you. That's why.
Well, that's
it's by design. It is by design.
It's like the same thing how you see, the top streamers who have a 4.0 lifetime KD talking about Iron Trials should be the default game mode for Warzone, or we need 50 more health. Of course you want that because you're a better player. Are they going to do that? No. If someone is not good at the game, adding 50 health will make them stop playing the game. If every person has 50 more health, they will lose way more gunfights. It's not good for the casual. It increases the skill gap. They will not do that. What do you not like? People genuinely want them to make these changes, and it's just outrageous to think about. Of course they're not. They're looking at the money. They have to cater to the casual. That will never be a thing. It won't be a thing. If you want a game with a longer time to kill, here's what you got to do. Don't play Warzone. Play something else. Because it's not the game for you if you're going to continue to bitch about that, knowing they're not going to do anything. I agree with you. It'd be great if the health was increased. Would it be better for 90% of the player base? No, it'll be worse for them. And it'll get people to stop playing their game. Same thing with skill-based matchmaking. It's terrible for us, who is it good for? Activision and the casual. Because it keeps people playing longer. It gets them more money in the long run. It's a pretty simple business decision.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, let me also point out this fact to you guys. Remember, not so long ago, a couple weeks, when Raven said they plan on slowing down the ADS time of every gun in the game so that they could increase the time to kill and therefore widen the skill gap? Wrong. They were lying because it doesn't make sense. You want to increase the TT. It's a giant stretch. If they wanted to increase the TTK, and they know this, what do? Make guns do less damage, make them have more recoil, and or give people more health. Those are actual ways you would increase the TTK.
Yeah.
But that's not what they did. They said, we're going to make everything ADS slower. Why did they really do that? We don't want to further increase the skill gap. Because guess what happens if you can ADS real quick? You can move your character and clown people. Not just sit in one spot holding an angle pre-aiming.
Exactly.
So, again, remember this the next... Because they're going to continue lying to us. I'm shocked they've been candid at this moment in time. And they've revealed themselves. Mask off moment. Cool. I'll take it. Remember this the next time they continue to lie to us, which they will do, by saying things like, we're going to slow down ADS because we want to widen the skill gap by increasing TTK. Wrong. Lie. They are doing it because, quote, we don't want to further increase the skill gap. Just remember it, guys. Just remember it. There's one example we will highlight more. Trust me.
Another thing that's funny, too, is now all of the comments to that tweet, by the way, were kids dead serious. These tweets would get 100+ likes. They were all saying, okay, then remove field of view slider from PC. It's not fair. Buddy, I've owned and played Call of Duty 1 on PC. 2006, guess what I had? A field of view slider. If you want one, buy a PC. Buy one, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's
I mean, holy shit. Like 15 years I've been playing Call of Duty on a field of view slider, and they're saying remove it from PC. No, every PC game has a field of view slider. Every single shooter, almost every single game, even the third person games have field of view sliders, really. A lot of those do on console too, but like, dude, just get over it. Just shut the fuck up about it.
Just buy a PC.
It's outrageous to think something should be removed that's had it for years just so it could be more fair for you. Shut the fuck up.
And exactly like you were saying, Tanner, Call of Duty is a casual game. So
Yes.
if we were playing ranked Valorant for MMR, right, then you would maybe say, first of all, there wouldn't be crossplay or cross input, God forbid, first of all. But then you could say, okay, this is a competitive advantage. It's unfair. One party has them and another party doesn't. So we're going to remove it from both parties unless we can implement it for both parties. If this was a highly competitive, high stakes video game, then maybe you could make that argument. But this is Call of Duty. It is the most casual video game there is. So you can't make things worse for one group of players just because another group of players can't have it. Go fuck yourself. What next? I can't have more than 60 hertz because your Xbox 360 from 2009 can't run more than 60 hertz. Fuck you. That is because we can take this argument for frame rate, for hertz, for if we're going to remove an FOV slider for PC, then you can also make the exact same argument for refresh rate. You can make it for FPS. You can make it for the fucking filters. Oh, don't let people use filters on your game anymore.
They do think that. A lot of console players say that filters are cheating.
Great, yeah. Yes. And that would be just absurd, obviously. And also, but I can't afford a PC. I can only afford a PS4. Wrong. Hey, if you have enough disposable income to spend $500 on a video game machine, you also have enough disposable income to spend $2,000 on a video game machine. We are not in sub-Saharan Africa here, guys. You're playing a fucking video game with electricity, an internet connection, and a machine that is hundreds of United States dollars just for a leisure activity. I don't accept literally anyone owns a console and plays Warzone on an internet connection couldn't afford a PC if they really wanted one. Go fuck yourself. Save more money. If you could save enough for a PS5 or a PS4, you can save enough for a PC. It might take you another month or two to buy one.
Yeah.
It's that simple. So I also don't accept this it's unfair argument.
I agree.
Then be an adult. Save more money. Holy shit.
Yeah,
man.
that's what.
It's that simple.
So yeah, Ghost of Hope was saying something about that on Twitter. You know, a lot of his takes are fucking stupid, but he made the same point. He's like, listen, guys, if you want a field of view slider, be an adult and save up some money like everyone else did. He's like, it's not. He said, if you can buy a console, save a little bit more and buy a PC if you care that much. Like, no one's stopping you. Like, that's on you. Like, he's like, you know, probably a fucking 19, 20-year-old kid, and he's the one saying this. He's like, just save up your money. It's not, you know, it's like people, they always say that I can't afford. It's not that they can't afford, it's that they don't want to spend money on that because they're not as hardcore, and then they're just using the excuse that I can't afford it, it's not fair. But it's like, no, it's just because you don't care as much about gaming, you're casual, so you're just going to complain and say that, well, I can't afford it, that's not fair. Got it.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
Yeah. It's simply absurd to say I can afford a PlayStation 4 but not a computer.
Yeah.
Wrong. That I don't think seriously there is one person on earth for whom that is the case.
Yeah.
I have the disposable income for one video game machine, but not
exactly.
a more expensive one. Okay, dude, sure.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Let's
Jerry's bitching about the price of PCs as he's coming home with a 32 rack of Busch Light every few days, you know?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and a fucking carton of cigarettes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Smokes 2 packs of Marlboro Reds a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Each are 10 United States dollars.
And he's driving some big diesel truck that costs $8 a gallon to fill up and gets 3 miles per gallon. Yeah.
Yep.
That's lifted and all this shit. But yeah, I can't afford a PC.
Oh, and yeah,
you,
what
Jerry.
about scuffs too? What about scuff controllers? I can't afford an aftermarket controller. Don't let paddles work in Warzone.
True. That is cheating. Yeah, that is cheating. Because how can you use a normal controller and then someone else can own a scuff, pay more? That's not fair. That shouldn't be allowed. That's true. It's bullshit, man.
I can't afford a headset microphone to talk to my friends. Don't let there be any voice chat.
Yeah, true.
I mean, do you see how absurd this is? You could take that argument so far, and it immediately becomes obvious how ridiculous it is. Yeah, so those people should be disallowed on the internet.
Yeah,
say that.
So moving on, last thing about field of view slider, this is funny. They further said, we want everyone to have fun. Got it. Adding field of view to PC sort of opened this Pandora box. Again, I don't know who your developers are. It's been on PC since 2006. Got it. Don't say adding it to PC sort of opened this up. It's been there since the original Call of Duty was released.
Don't call it a Pandora's box either, by the way.
Open this Pandora box of console players wanting it. This is the funny part. Internal testing just showed if they added it, they might as well call it, and they said, quote, how to drop frame rate slider, end quote.
True. Literally.
So that shows you they did test it, and it obviously wasn't working on console. Like I said earlier, there's been tests on PC you can watch on YouTube of people looking at the difference. There was no frame rate dips when playing on 80 to 120 field of view. But again, different hardware, different machine. It makes sense why it would be different when you swap that over to a console.
Yeah, of course. Exactly.
Yep. All right. So moving on here. Next thing. Devs are aware. So there's a 120 hertz issue with Caldera, like it doesn't work on Xbox or something. On the Xbox Series X/S is a frustrating technology issue caused by Microsoft SDK platform change. Don't know what that means. Which update was built on. Working on a fix, but it's taking a time. This has been broken since Caldera came in. Also said not many people have 120 hertz monitors, so reaction to that was interesting. And that's true. All of these guys probably playing on these Xboxes, thinking they're getting 120 hertz.
That's fucking hilarious.
I bet none of them have, because half of them are playing on TVs. You don't own, buddy. You bought a TV 3 years ago and paid $4,000 for it. It's a 65-inch. That thing is 60 hertz. You're not getting 120 anyways. True, and I don't think they realize, there are probably so many people out there that think that, oh, this is fucking bugged, I should be getting 120 hertz. But it's like, but you don't have the right monitor for it. You're playing on a TV doesn't have that hertz, that possible refresh rate. Yeah. So that's just outrageous right there.
Yeah. And by the way, how are these devs surprised that the reaction to 120 hertz not working was too strong or interesting, the most vocal players of your game are going to be the hardcore ones who care about shit like 120 hertz.
Yep.
Like, of course, that's what you're going to hear complaints about, because people who complain about video games to you on Twitter are your most hardcore players.
Yeah.
So, anyway, yeah.
All right. So, yeah, these next things here are kind of just, it's a weird order, but it's kind of just the order they were talked about. So next up here, devs did confirm they implemented a fix for the flying cars cheat that was going on, and other anti-cheat efforts are ongoing. They said that, not surprising there, that Ricochet will evolve over time. It doesn't work. Maybe it'll never work, but it's evolving for sure.
A lot of people in Twitch chat too are mentioning Ricochet. I think Ricochet is doing pretty well. It's definitely doing something. It's way better than before Ricochet.
Did we see any yesterday, actually, in buybacks?
No.
I don't think we did.
No,
there was someone
yeah.
on Bandit's block list. We did have that. That was the game where we died early on, I think. So there was a cheater in there. We didn't personally run into them, though.
Yeah. This goes back to what Tanner said before Ricochet came out. There does not exist an anti-cheat where there will be no cheaters.
Yeah.
Ricochet is doing pretty good. It needs to be doing better than it is now. I concede that. But bitching to Activision about cheaters, we're in the highest SBMM bracket there is, and I'm like almost satisfied. It's doing something, and I hope it will continue to improve. But that is not the type of thing I want to complain about right now. It is way more them lying to us about fixing the game before they add new features, for example. So yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of happy with the cheater situation right now, honestly.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with you. So again, on the invisible skins here, when asked about invisible skins in Warzone and why they don't just disable or remove them until it's fixed, the dev said it's a complicated situation, as you can't just take away a skin that someone bought so easily. It's a very complicated situation.
By the way, it's not complicated. It would affect their bottom line, and they would be liable to maybe lawsuits or something. That's why. It's not complicated.
I wonder if there is
incredibly simple dollars.
I wonder if there is a chance for a lawsuit if it's out of the game even for like a week if someone paid for it.
Yeah, maybe. That's probably what is
doesn't
they
seem
find
like
complicated
it, but
about
never
it,
know.
but I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
That we already talked about. Okay, a little bit here. So this is an article from Charlie. It's a Warzone devs admit the game is broken and promise to fix it. So there's some interesting notes about when Warzone was created in here. Let me find it. So by the way, this call was like Activision, Raven, Infinity Ward was on it. There was a lot of different people involved in this. So this is coming.
Dicks.
So this guy from Infinity Ward, the co-studio lead, Pat Kelly, seems like a pretty bluntly honest guy.
Irishman, huh? Interesting.
Pretty honest guy.
Don't let the Irish be in charge of things.
Yeah, you don't think? So during the call, they were talking about Warzone, and Pat Kelly, again the Infinity Ward guy, said, quote, "We fucked stuff up, but we made promises that these would be addressed throughout the rest of the year." He said they were not happy with the state of Warzone and admitted they had learned the upper limits of their technology as they attempted to integrate games into Warzone over the last couple years. As for why the Pacific Caldera was so messy, Bridge said they was not there to make excuses, but that the team had great ambitions for the update. Unfortunately, with limited time, they weren't able to complete it as planned, and they pushed for a delay in Season 2 so they could ensure the game was in a stable state. Again, they didn't push back. Well, I guess they did push back the launch of Caldera, too. But they could have pushed it back more, is what they're saying. Pat Kelly also said Warzone was originally built solely as an addition to Modern Warfare, but after its incredible success, they wanted to incorporate that into the future COD titles. This caused...
Quickly. This is exactly why Warzone is such a disaster, and it's what Tanner and I have been telling you. We have said almost verbatim, they put out Warzone and expected it to be like Blackout from BO4.
Yeah.
You know? And they didn't expect all the crazy success it got, and that's why the platform, the foundation of the game is so dog shit.
Yeah.
Is because they didn't
COVID
really
and
see
crossplay
it
did
anywhere.
it. COVID and
Exactly.
crossplay made it the most popular game.
Yes. So we told you that too. Called it.
But yeah, so
Anyway,
they
sorry.
said this quote caused significant development challenges, which left the game feeling bloated with the addition of Cold War and Vanguard. This left Warzone in a state of limbo. Kelly saying, it didn't feel like Modern Warfare anymore, nor did it feel like Black Ops. This bloated state made it even harder to find bugs and patch them quickly due to how much was going on in the game.
And this is all Activision's fault, by the way. If it was up to the dev team, they would say, wait, you want to take a different game made by a different developer and just fucking throw it into our last game? Are you out of your fucking mind? That's an insane, terrible idea. This is a behind the scenes look at the conversation they had with their publisher. And the publisher said, money. And then they forced them to do it.
No.
So obviously shoehorning in fucking a Treyarch game into an iDub game that's a year older is not going to go super well, which it didn't. The devs certainly knew that. And that wasn't the plan, obviously. And they did it anyway, and that's why it was such a fucking disaster. This is what the devs are telling us. Not their fault at all. Actually, this is all Activision's fault for trying to just keep milking the fucking Warzone cow, even though the game was not built to be milked for that long.
Yeah.
And this is also why Tanner and I are much more optimistic about Warzone 2, because they will be building it from the start, from the get-go, with the intention, with a solid platform and the intention of incorporating newer games into it. So it should go a lot better because they will know what they're getting themselves into, and they will know that they want to incorporate 2023's title into Warzone 2, for example.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be easier for them if they start it that way.
Yes, definitely.
So that's it from that article. This is another funny one here, and just outrageous. Developers admitted it was, quote, embarrassing to launch the Caldera update in December and have it broken for a few weeks. And Season 2 update has fixes for a lot of these issues. Did we not say when Caldera launched, this is going to be a disaster until February and or March? It's going to be, oh my God, this is outrageous. Who would have thought launching the fucking biggest update of the year, the biggest Warzone update of the year, days, hours before giving every single one of your fucking studios, 5,000 people, 2 weeks off of work? Oh, who would have thought that was a bad idea, man? Who the fuck is in charge over there? You are brain dead, whoever made that call. Whoever that is, someone in Activision, you are a fucking moron for not figuring that one out. What happened when Cold War was integrated? The same fucking thing a year prior. And here you are doing it again, saying, oh, that was embarrassing. We shouldn't have done that. No shit, buddy. You just now figuring that out? What are you doing? Outrageous. So, no shot Warzone 2 launches in December. There's no way they make that mistake again, right? We either see an early COD release this year in like October, which is what's kind of being rumored, that the game's going to come out in October again instead of November, and Warzone 2 comes with that, or we get an early November, or that shit's not coming out till January, which would be better. Because I don't want to go through a period, even if Warzone 2 is out, we're going to have terrible gun balance or something for the first while. And I don't want everyone getting 2 weeks off work when we have to deal with that shit. Put it out in January.
Exactly. Yeah. And let me add too, like when Warzone 2 comes out, it will be a fucking disaster of biblical proportions. However, I wouldn't blame a company for that happening. Of course it's going to be a disaster. It's going to be crossplay with 7 platforms possible worldwide, with hundreds, tens of millions, dozens of millions of players trying to play on a limited number of servers at exactly the same time. I would expect it to be a fucking mess. And I don't blame Activision or any dev studio. I won't blame them when Warzone 2 is a disaster on launch night or launch day. That is expected, and they are only human beings. It would be impossible to make a seamless Warzone 2 launch. The scope of the project is too large. It's guaranteed to be a disaster, excuse me, and that's fine. What I will blame them for is having Warzone 2 come out on December 24th, and then they all just take 2 weeks off, as Tanner just said. Release it knowing that it's going to be a mess, and stand by to patch all the holes in the boat when it comes out so that we can keep this thing afloat. That's what I would expect.
Yeah.
I would be very happy with, and literally best possible case scenario is they release Warzone 2. It is a mess because of course it's going to be a mess. The project's too big for it not to be. And then they very quickly and promptly fix things in a prioritized fashion based on which issues are most pressing. And then I'd be super thrilled. And then a week later, it works like pretty well. That's best case scenario. That's the best possible case scenario for a project this big. And that would be fine. But certainly don't release it right before you send all your employees home for Christmas break. Exactly.
Or just be like Tarkov Dev Studio, Battlestate Games, and work through Christmas. They literally did that. The CEO, Nick Jeanburn, tweeted that out. He said, team's been hard at work staying in over Christmas break because we want to get the game not buggy and make sure it's fixed. Holy fuck. Devs that care about their game instead of retweeting Biden 2020 tweets, you know? Outrageous. Thanks. Fucking ridiculous, man.
True and based.
Absolutely based, yeah.
Just chain them to their fucking desks. How many times do we have to
bring back the chain. Well, not that way. Easy. Not that way. I mean,
we'll edit
the
out.
Activision chains.
Yeah. Yes. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, work on Christmas, pussy.
Yeah.
All right.
Fuck holidays.
Yeah. Enough of that one. That we already talked about. Okay, during the call, it was hinted that they are working on a feature set to allow players to set matchmaking parameters about who they match make against. Okay, like platforms, inputs, etc. No confirmed release period for this yet. No chances for Warzone. Everyone's assuming this is Warzone. No chance, right? I'm thinking this is for multiplayer because they were talking about everything with this. Modern Warfare 2022, 22222, Warzone 22222. I don't think this will come to Warzone. If it does, it's not going to be a strict thing like you will only play against that input. Maybe it'll give you a better chance of playing versus those people, but they're not going to entirely split it. That will not happen.
Yep.
That won't work for their player base.
I think best case scenario, this would be just like combat pacing in Vanguard.
Yep. Exactly.
Where you can be like, oh, I like Blitz. So it'll be like, cool, we'll try and play you in a Blitz lobby, but we're certainly not guaranteeing it. That would be like best case scenario, yeah. There is no world, unfortunately, where I only play Warzone against other keyboard and mouse players. There's no world. I'll never play in a single lobby ever where no one's on a controller. That will literally never happen, ever.
No,
never.
We'd have to go back to BO4 to do that.
Yes. Yes, we would. So, certainly not for Warzone. And not even for multiplayer, I don't think. I think for multiplayer, again, it would be like the combat pacing thing, where it's like, yeah, I would prefer to get to play against keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
And it'll, maybe work or not, but yeah, there's not going to do that. Because you can't do SBMM and shit like this at all. Because if I wanted to play against only keyboard and mouse, and they also wanted to keep me in a relatively strict SBMM bracket, there aren't enough people queuing at the literal moment I press start match, crossplay or not. There just aren't enough people for them to do that. So yeah, it would be like a preference thing, which is cool. I'm surprised they're even thinking about doing this, frankly. I would prefer that to nothing, but to anyone who thinks you can completely eliminate half of the player base or more from your opponent list, you're out of your fucking mind. Yeah, there's no chance that's happening.
Yep.
Hey, is there a filter for taking good players out of my opponent list? That would be sick.
Yeah, it's a VPN.
Yeah, if you have a 1.0 KD or higher, I don't want to play against you. That would be great.
No lag VPN. Happening. We are looking for a sponsor. No lag.
We are accepting sponsorships, yes.
Yeah.
JC at thedropshot.com.
Yes.
Email me.
Now. Thank you. I would like a free
VPN.
Next up here, a little bit about Warzone ranked play. Not much, but they said a few things about it. So, speaking to content creators in the press, Bridge confirmed we want to do ranked right, but they need to consider the timing of it. He reiterated that they want to do it right and that they don't want it to come out and do it broken. He went on to say, as for a release date, he couldn't offer one, explaining that I just don't have a place in the calendar for it. Timing is critical, and they need to weigh the amount of uplift for it versus other features. In short, this is what they said about field of view. They're looking into it. Clip it. We will not get ranked in Warzone Caldera. We will not. If we get
100%.
if we get a ranked mode, it will come with Warzone 2. This is the bullshit answer they give when it's not coming, but they don't want to just straight up say no. If it was coming even relatively soon, they would have more to say on it. Say, yes, it is being worked on. We're working on a lot of aspects of it. The fact that he says, I don't have a place in the calendar for it, not coming. Stop asking for it. Not coming. Warzone 2, hopefully it's there. On launch, probably not. Hopefully at some point in Warzone 2, though, but no shot we're getting ranked mode in Caldera.
1,000%. 1,000% agree with you. Yeah, we will not see ranked play in this iteration of Warzone. And by the way, good. This game is done. Let's fucking continue to limp to the finish line with this bloated, buggy disaster and not spend too much more fucking time, waste too much more time on it with shit like ranked play, which it would be a waste of time to do. Yeah. So it won't come for this iteration of Warzone, and good. And we'll have it probably for Warzone 2 at a time, hopefully not on the launch of Warzone 2, because it's going to be, again, a buggy disaster on launch. And that would be great. But yeah, it's not coming with this Warzone, and good. And you shouldn't want it, and it wouldn't be great anyway. And also, there still are cheaters. So if you did get ranked in a free-to-play BR, Ricochet or not, if you're doing well, you'll have a cheater in every single game, just like Apex currently has.
Yeah.
If you're like high, whatever, I don't know, MMR in Apex, this is the last I heard this was the case. Ranked Apex at the top of the bracket, when you're really good and really trying to grind for max rating, there's a cheater in every single match you play. Hey, who would have thought?
Yeah, I'd heard that too.
So, yeah. That would happen in Warzone.
Someone said that about this, quote, Tarkov mode everyone keeps talking about for Call of Duty. I don't remember who said it, but it was like, if it's a free-to-play Call of Duty title and it comes to that, and it's a game anything close to Tarkov, who the fuck would play that? Because it'd be infested with cheaters. Yeah. Tarkov is at minimum $60. I paid $120 for my version of the game. Know what I still run into weekly? Cheaters that pay full price for a game. How bad would a game like that be if it was free? Unplayable. Exactly. Dead on release.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that was you and I talking about that.
Yeah, I mean, that was just, yeah. But, yeah, all right, so that's it for ranked play. A little bit here on the future of Warzone now. So Infinity Ward Pat Kelly stated that when Black Ops was added to Warzone, it didn't feel like Modern Warfare, it didn't feel like Black Ops. The game just existed. They are working to ensure the future of Warzone does not feel like that. The new engine being developed by Infinity Ward for this year's game and Warzone is the foundation for the future. And they stated clearly that even with a singular base engine, they want Treyarch games to feel like Treyarch titles, MW to have MW feel. That is important. So that almost makes it sound like every game will use the same engine now, because Cold War was not on the same engine as Modern Warfare, whereas Vanguard is. Cold War was a totally different engine.
Correct.
So that's saying they're going to base it off the same one. But yeah, I mean, you can do a lot with an engine from what I understand. It's a very difficult thing to learn about as video game engines and whatnot. It's confusing, but that may mean... I don't know. I don't know what that would mean, actually.
I'm not sure what this means either, honestly, because... Hold on. Where are we? Yeah, further, the new engine being developed by iDub for this year's game and Warzone is the foundation for the future. Yeah, so, okay, I think I understand. So it sounds like they're making an actual new engine, and that's going to be the engine they use for Call of Duty titles for the next 5 to 10 years. And if you think one engine for 10 years is like an insane thing to think, then you don't know much about video game engines. Because many, many, many video games that are not only different games, but they're different fucking genres of game that are played on the same engine. So right now I'm going to pull up the Frostbite engine. This is an engine by EA Games. Okay. Here are some games on the Frostbite engine. FIFA 21. That's a soccer game, right?
Football, yeah.
Okay, cool. Next, Star Wars Squadrons.
That's a soccer game too, isn't it?
That's a game that takes place in space where you fly around X-Wings. So already, now it should be obvious to you. A game's engine is a very, very, very basic foundational thing, and you can do a lot of wildly different shit using the same engine. Once again, FIFA 21 and Star Wars Squadrons use the same fucking game engine. So just because two games share an engine does not mean they're going to feel the same at all. Star Wars Squadrons does not feel like FIFA 21. They're different fucking games. They're different genres of games.
Yeah.
Need for Speed, Heat, Anthem, Battlefield 5. These are all on the Frostbite engine.
Mm-hmm.
So just because a game has an engine doesn't mean it's going to feel like a different game on that engine. With that said, this is totally feasible and makes sense and is potentially a good thing. First of all, a new engine is good because new shit is usually better. So that would be great. And if they design the engine with the intention of having Warzone be some game where you integrate separate titles into it into the future, and they design the engine with that in mind, that would also be a really good thing. It would make integrations like Cold Wars and Vanguards way more seamless, which would be good for everyone. It would be good for them, and it would be good for us. So, again, they stated clearly that even with a singular base engine, they want Treyarch games to feel like Treyarch titles, whereas they want MDub games to have MDub feel. That is completely doable and feasible. And just because a Treyarch game and an iDub game share the same engine, they could still feel wildly different in the same way BO4 feels way different than MDub. They can share the engine and that still be completely achievable. So that's something to keep in mind.
Hopefully, if anything, it's just the next Treyarch title doesn't look like it was made in 2003 like Cold War did. Maybe they'll all like look good like Modern Warfare, but still feel and play like their own games. Yeah, but yeah. So that's cool. Nothing real surprising there though. That Warzone's being built for the future.
Yeah.
Warzone was just meant to be an extension of Modern Warfare, and we integrated with Black Ops and then Vanguard. Now the game is bloated. The devs admitted that there's so much going on in the game, they literally have problems finding what's even causing the bugs. That's entirely believable. I can definitely see that being the case. But, Yep.
And we've been saying that too.
They were kind of in a tough spot because they integrated Cold War, didn't plan for it, and they're like, well, fuck, now we have to do Vanguard, didn't plan for it. So I do understand that, why it's causing a shitload of bugs and why they have trouble finding things. I would imagine that's a disaster. But it's gonna have a less popular game than Warzone, I guess. We don't always get things right, Pat Kelly said, and it takes a long time to fix some things, which they want to change. We fuck things up, but says we break our fucking backs to try and make the best game we can. This guy's
wrong.
Easy.
Fuck you, Pat.
Jesus Christ.
How many weeks off did you take for Christmas, you fucking dick? How dare you say you
Well,
break
he
your
works for
backs?
Infinity Ward. He didn't need to.
Yeah, no one at Infinity Ward does anything. Of course he didn't break his back. He didn't even break a sweat.
You don't think?
I mean, fuck these people.
Patrick
Don't say you
Kelly.
break your fucking back. Fuck you, man. This is such a joke. Especially Infinity Ward. Rich. Hey, did you break your back writing a single patch note ever?
Oh!
No.
Know what I just found?
What?
I googled Pat Kelly, Infinity Ward. March 10th, 2020. Here's a quote from Pat Kelly. There is not skill-based matchmaking in any of the larger player count modes in Modern Warfare. Fuck you, Pat. Oh my God. Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I lost everything for Pat. That's it. Outrageous, man. Yeah, Pat, you're a cocksucker, buddy.
You fucking piece of shit, Pat Kelly. Fuck you. We break our fucking backs. How dare you? It's just offensive. It's just offensive. Especially Infinity Ward. It's worst case scenario for Infinity Ward to be saying that.
Yeah, maybe I didn't say this yet.
Yeah.
I thought we did, but just so you guys all know, Pat Kelly is the co-studio lead of Infinity Ward, so he's like on top of the whole studio. So he is, yeah.
Yeah, fuck off, you piece of garbage trash can. Hey,
Pat Kelly,
you know what you should
pod.
break your back doing? hiring and firing people who can't do their jobs, like your former community manager.
Did you hire Ashton, buddy?
Fucking Williams.
Did you hire her?
You piece of shit, Pat. If he didn't hire her, he hired the guy or girl who hired her. It is his responsibility that there was never a single patch note ever released during all of Modern Warfare's life cycle that was comprehensive, all-inclusive, and correct. Literally zero patch notes
for it. Yeah.
And she was never fired, reprimanded, slapped on the wrist. She got let go probably with a pension, a severance package, a 401k, and a glowing letter of recommendation for having done the worst job anyone has ever done at doing any job ever in the history of the universe. Cool, but you break your fucking back. Fuck you, Pat Kelly. Holy shit, it makes me so mad. God, it pisses me off for you to say that.
Yeah.
Now, I will add, Activision probably definitely forces them to do way more than a dev studio could possibly do. But when there were things that were well within your control, like being the custodian of just Modern Warfare multiplayer, you did less than the bare minimum. So don't ever tell me you break your fucking back. Unless you just got hired, then maybe. When did Pat Kelly become head of Infinity Ward or co-head?
I don't know.
I'm willing to bet it was before MW 2019 came out.
Oh, for sure.
So fuck Pat Kelly. God damn it, man. God damn it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's so insulting. It doesn't matter. Whatever.
Yeah,
he's some old white dude. He's probably been there for 20 years.
Yeah, he's a middle-aged white dude for sure. Doesn't play games, yeah. His kids play Apex instead of Warzone, probably, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, moving on here again, kind of out of order. Also interesting, they said the Gulag was added to Warzone because in internal tests, they saw campers were taking down players who loved to run around, so they wanted to give the run and gunners a second chance. That's just entirely false. That's a lie.
Well,
they wanted to give the shitters a chance to come back, so they kept playing the game. This was not for better players that move their characters. Zero chance.
Yeah.
This is for the shitters.
It's just a casual thing, so you stay in the game longer. Yeah, I agree with you.
So that's cool. It's cool, but that's a lie.
Internal testing, by the way.
Internal testing, monk ass, yeah.
Yeah, that happened.
Blah, blah, Charlie sucking off Activision. I hope everyone sees why we're super confident, excited about the future of COD. We're not paid by Activision, never have been. Got it, but you'd make millions a year talking about the game, so yeah, got it.
I mean, you get to be in calls like this, which drives a fuck ton of internet traffic to your website, through which you sell ads and make millions of dollars, but you're not paid by Activision. Oh yeah, you have no relationship. You have no business relationship with Activision. You don't get any special treatment. You're not incentivized at all to suck Activision's cock on Twitter just because they don't literally write you a check. Cool.
Yeah.
Holy shit, the levels of cap are just astronomical today.
Yeah, actually,
it's a disaster.
On that's kind of funny because Chris said something in chat a little while ago. Let me find it again. These are better takes. He said this like an hour ago when we were talking about shit. So these are better takes than literally every content creator that sat in on that call. All of them were saying exactly what Activision wanted them to. And know what I said back to that? Of course, that's why those people are in the calls. Because they know they're cocksuckers that are going to make videos saying only the good stuff and say, oh, the future's looking bright. Nothing is bad. That's why those people are invited. That's why, like, when my dad asks, oh, has the company that owns Call of Duty ever reached out to you? And I say, absolutely not. Never have, never will, of course not. Because we don't say what they want to say. So no. So those people in those calls are in there for a specific reason, because they know they're going to say good shit. What did all of them say about Warzone Caldera? What did Swag say about Caldera? Oh shit, this is good. You guys are going to love this. What did he start saying 3 weeks later? Give me back for dance. This shit sucks. Got it. They say what they want to say. They get their info. Just bullshit.
Yeah, there are more popular people than Charlie Intel who have played lots of Warzone who were not privy to this call. Why do you think that is?
Yeah.
Who are some examples? Dr. Disrespect.
Ooh, he's not involved in any of this shit. You're right.
Maybe the most popular streamer on Earth. He doesn't get a
He may be the most
Activision.
In terms of pulling live viewers, he's not the number one, but in terms of recognizing a streamer, he's probably the most recognizable Twitch streamer in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. exactly.
When he
But
doesn't get invited
any calls
because
from
he shit talks
Activision.
them.
Interesting. Yeah,
Crazy.
Interesting. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. So, anyways, Pat Kelly's excited for the future. Blah blah. He teased some big updates with the new sandbox mode. Didn't say any more. He also said, "It doesn't matter what I hype up. You guys will be the judge of it when it's launches." True. Glad you understand that.
True.
He also said he has no interest in doing a jetpack or boost jump game because there's been a lot of talk about that. People wanting jetpacks back.
Why not, by the way, Tanner?
Why doesn't he want it? Because there's a skill gap, theoretically. More of a skill gap.
Because, hold on, let me.
It's not that he doesn't want it,
notes.
it's that Activision doesn't want it because they didn't sell well.
Let me check my notes. The reason they don't want jetpacks in Call of Duty is, quote, we don't want to further increase the skill gap. There you go. So that's why. There will never be a jetpack COD again, ever. Obviously.
Also, K-BAM players who want that, stop. That's outrageous. You need aim assist for jetpacks. That game would not be fun having to jump around shooting people that are also in a jetpack in the air without aim assist. I loved Advanced Warfare. I thought that was a really fun game. I played that on a console, on a controller. That would not be fun on K-BAM. Shut the fuck up. Get over it. Yeah. Blah, blah. We already talked about that. Well, that's pretty much it for the Warzone shit. Next, we have just a little bit of info here on the ranked play coming to Vanguard this coming week if we want to hit this. There's not much here. I don't really care that much, but I figure we can talk about it because some people will find this interesting. So ranked play...
Hold on, real quick. There's one more tweet from Charlie Intel. The devs also said attempting to balance between high skill and low skill players isn't easy. And that we can't nerf low skill players' ability just to please high skill players. And it's a complicated balance to get it right for everyone. So, okay. I actually agree with this. Look, guys, do I wish Call of Duty had a giant skill gap? Of course I do. But it won't, because it's a casual video game and they want to make a lot of money. And like Tanner and I both already said, the way to do that is to not raise the skill gap, widen the skill gap at every possible opportunity. They're not going to. And this is actually true. It is a complicated balance to get it right for everyone. I wish they did everything to widen the skill gap, because I'm a higher than average skill player. That would benefit me more than it would hurt me. I would get fucking styled on sometimes, but I would style on people too. And it would be more fun and rewarding, because then your performance would be more in line with your actual skill at the game, the wider the skill gap is. But it is a complicated balance to get it right for everyone. But also, devs, don't say you can't nerf low skill players by widening the skill gap. That's not nerfing anyone. It's just widening the skill gap.
Yeah.
Guess what? You can't make a game where low skill players are going to be better than high skill players. That's what skill means, right? It doesn't matter how much dog shit to squash the skill gap you add. The better players are still going to be better because they're higher skilled. Yeah. Unless you literally don't let them have guns. The only way you could do this is like, okay, if you're above a 2 KD, you can only have one gun. You can't have two. That's like the only way you can actually like benefit low skill players. And I remember saying this all the way about BO4 is that, yeah, you have all these operator abilities that gives the shitters the opportunity to kill really good players. But guess who's going to be better with Reaper's Scythe? Syrian. Than fucking me. Because he's better than me.
Yeah.
So I'll kill Syrian if I have a scythe sometimes. But he's going to kill me a fuck of a lot more, because high skill players will be able to exploit your dog shit trash skill gap squashing mechanics better than low skill players because they're higher skilled, because that's literally what that means.
Exactly.
So, anyways, just wanted to point that out. Sorry. All right. Yeah, we can move on.
Yeah, so Vanguard Ranked Play is coming in beta form on February 17th. So that's what, Thursday? Yeah, next Thursday it's coming. Okay. So it's 4v4 competitive modes, official CDL rule set, visible skill rating number, exclusive rewards, 7 skill divisions, and there will be a top 250 leaderboard. So a little bit more info on it. By the way, this is done by Treyarch. This is not Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer is getting a lot of fucking help this year. Have you noticed that? And they still can't get anything done. We still can't get patches, and everyone's doing their fucking work for them.
True.
So this is Treyarch's. Here's what they said. Play like the pros and see how stack up against the best in the world with more skill rating transparency than ever before. So after completing 5 placement matches, you'll earn a visible skill rating number, and you get placed in one of the 7 skill divisions. Compete to earn exclusive calling cards, weapon blueprints, camos, charms, operator skins, and more. You'll be able to show off your ranked play rewards in Vanguard and Warzone, so your opponents will know who they're up against. So I assume that's talking about, like, if there's some dope operator skins for certain ranks that you can use in Warzone, that may actually get people grinding this. That's a really high-Q, smart idea. Because if there's some dope-ass looking outfit, then I'm like, oh, dude, I can play ranked play for like a week and get that. I'm going to try to do that, you know? So that's cool.
That would be cool.
So as your skill rating goes up, you'll advance through 7 skill divisions, which is up from 5 in Cold War. Contender, Specialist, Advanced, Expert, Elite, Master, and Challenger. Later in the year, we're introducing an all-new top 250 division to showcase the top comp players in the world. This will be an entirely new skill division above the standard 7 with an in-game top leaderboard for the world to see. That's what keeps these kids playing the mode, by the way. Exactly. Shit like that, so people can see their names. That's what keeps them going. And there's a dope little emblem that says, like, top 250, so that's cool. The new home of competitive Call of Duty is here, featuring the same weapons, maps, modes, and settings as the CDL pros use. Some of the CDL players sat in with Treyarch and designed this, and they're apparently very excited for it. There's cool. What they actually wanted. They need to do that
with Warzone, by the way.
They do. Well, they do, but it's all the content creators that suck them off and don't actually give them proper input. Point. Yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah, this is cool. This sounds really good.
Yeah. One thing though, like Hood Dog says, who the fuck plays VG? So that's the thing that's interesting about ranked is these same kids that are on Twitter saying Vanguard fucking sucks, this game is not fun, not exciting. They're the same ones that are like, we need ranked mode, acting like they're going to grind the shit out of this game for what reason? You talk about how much you hate it. Do you want a little number or an icon next to your name that bad that you're going to go through and play this shit and grind ranked mode? It's just weird. It's those same people that talk shit about how bad the game is are the same ones that claim this game needs ranked mode. Cool. Are you even going to play it? It's so weird. I don't know. So I don't know how popular this will actually be. Multiplayer Call of Duty is just dead at this point. This will be interesting to play. I may actually try this. I didn't care to try it in Cold War. It will be a sweat fest. I will get fucking destroyed by these CDL kids on their scuffs.
You'll get dicked down.
I will get absolutely dicked down, but I think we will try it. I would like to at least do like the 5 matches so we can get ranked and see how it plays.
Yeah, dude, that would be fun. One of my questions is your skill rating only determined by wins versus losses, or are there other factors?
I think there's other factors. They said it's a full ELO system.
That's cool. That's really cool. I like that it's 4v4 because the smaller the team size, the more impactful one person is for the team. Yeah. Because if it's like 20v20, you can be the best player on earth. You can't carry a shit team if you have 19 other teammates. But if it's 4v4, you can and you're really good, you're way better than everyone else. You can literally just solo win an entire game for your team. Because there are few enough people to do that.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
It would definitely be more fun with friends though, something like that. People in voice, because there will be a lot of kids that just don't talk.
You can queue with people, right?
Yeah. But doing random queuing wouldn't be fun.
You're right. Yeah, that of course. Yeah, that is of course true. That's a good point. But still, and then like you said too, depending on what these exclusive rewards are, this could get people who would never otherwise play ranked to play ranked.
Yeah,
like if there's for example,
if there's like dope calling cards, charms, all of that stuff, that could be cool.
Imagine like a sick like weapon camo. You know how if you buy those fucking CDL, what is it? No, what's the bundle for like veterans or whatever?
Endowment pack.
Yeah, if you buy an endowment pack, there's like a special camo weapon category for all your guns.
Yeah.
It's horrible looking. It's red, white, and blue, and it's just awful. But like, imagine if there was a contender camo you got for all your guns if you got contender, or maybe an operator skin. There could be some really fucking cool stuff. And if you could take it to Warzone, especially, that could get a lot of people playing who would not otherwise play.
Yeah.
That would be cool too. But all of this sounds really good as far as ranked goes. Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like multiplayer Vanguard players are excited for this, the ones that follow CDL.
Yeah.
This seems to be
good.
Yeah. So I think this is like what was rumored a while ago. This is most similar to World War II's ranked mode, which was like known as the best one in recent years.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that I think pretty much wraps it up for me.
Yeah. So in summary, I don't like being lied to. And that's what's upset me today. But besides that,
Fuck back.
credit where credit is due. This is a lot of communication and transparency that we've never seen before. And I will give credit to Activision themselves, who are the authors of almost everything evil that comes out of Call of Duty, except Infinity Ward. And it was their fault there were never patch notes. That dev studio specifically. And fuck them and fuck Pat Kelly. But again, credit where credit is due to Activision and Infinity Ward and every other dev studio involved for the unprecedented amount of transparency we've gotten this week. I'm shocked, I'm awed, and I'm very glad. It's very good to see a couple mask off moments that I never expected to see. They don't want to raise the skill gap. Never expected that to be in writing. We fucked up. Never expected to see that in writing. And other things that I can't remember right now. But still, them communicating the mistakes they've made, their plans for the future, both specifically and conceptually, and just the willingness to communicate with your player base in general, all very good things. So, irrespective of the content of the call that we're covering, and irrespective of the content of the blog post, I am very pleased with the fact that a call happened at all, and that a blog post was written at all, detailing what was detailed. And when you do get into specifics, a lot of the things they're saying we already knew, and also a lot of it's good. A lot of it's good to hear. Whether or not they actually go forward with these things is kind of a separate question, but a lot of what they did say, that at least a lot of what they paid lip service to, are good things that I would be excited and happy to see. So everything we've covered today, this is a huge net positive as far as I'm concerned. And literally no matter what they could have possibly said, I'd rather they say it than just not talk to us like they did for all of 2020 rather. I'm pleased. I'm very pleased. What is your overall impression on all these shenanigans, Tanner?
Yeah, I'm glad they brought a lot of it up. Half of the changes they're making was shit we should have had year ago, 2 years ago when Warzone was introduced. So cool. Thanks for finally doing it now. Glad you figured that out. Glad you're doing something someone's been complaining about since March of 2020. Appreciate that. But yeah, I do like the communication shit we've gotten from them. Season 2, I think, as I've been, kind of hoping, expecting, I think this kind of will be the real start of Caldera. We also should be getting a big weapon balance overhaul here soon. So that'll probably come out then as well. But yeah, I am excited to play Season 2, see all these changes. Most of the Warzone 2 news wasn't too surprising. But, I'm glad they finally put all that out and talked about it. I'm just kind of wondering if we're going to see something happen on Monday, like some sort of teaser for Warzone or something COD related, because I've noticed there's been 3 or 4 Call of Duty streamers that have said stuff about Monday, excited for Monday, and then they don't say anything else, and they do the side eyes.
Isn't that just Vanguard multiplayer
No,
shit?
they're not talking about that. I'm not sure what it's about.
Interesting. I don't know. Maybe some secret event that's coming with Warzone.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's something, because it was after this call, I saw a lot of people say that, and they did the side eye. So we may get some other info about upcoming Warzone shit on Monday. So we need to be on the lookout for that.
Yeah,
it seems to be something Call of Duty related. But yeah, I'm excited for the Season 2 launch.
Yeah. So yeah, all in all, things are looking good. I do agree with Charlie Intel that the future of COD looks exciting. It is exciting. It is interesting. And I think Warzone 2 will be better than this Warzone. I think it's almost impossible for it not to be. So, all in all, I am optimistic. I am very excited. I'm excited for season 2 on a closer note, I guess. And yeah, that is that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you guys enjoyed. Couple reminders. The Dropshot Invitational number 4. Signups are open for another 2 weeks or so. And we have one sponsorship slot left. Join the Discord. Go to Tournament Resources to see the rules, and the sign up is therein. And sign up as soon as possible. What else? Next week, our schedule is going to be weird. I don't know what we're doing yet, but on Monday, we will post on our official Twitter account at the Dropshot Pod our weekly schedule. It will be the pinned tweet. So be extra double careful sure to follow the goddamn Twitter account, and also see the pinned tweet specifically for this next week, because we will not be doing our normal schedule. We will not have a pod on Thursday and Saturday. We might have one on Thursday, but we definitely won't have one on Saturday, and it's going to just be a weird week. So the schedule is going to be all fucked next week. So make sure you follow the Twitter, get that schedule. We will also post the schedule in the Discord and the announcements channel there. And you can join the Discord in the show notes or in the video description. It is linked for your convenience. You can also find it at thedropshot.com. In addition to our Discord and our Twitter, you can find, of course, the most important link, the donate link, give us money, and also the Patreon link. Patreon.com/thedropshot is the best way to support the program. 7 bonus episodes a month, monthly hangouts, and more. See the website for full details. We have 3 tiers. We offer various benefits for each tier. And if you're a true Chad King goddess, you are a Damascus patron. So patreon.com/thedropshot, best way to support the show. Best for us and best for you. That's where we offer, once again, all of our bonus content. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching. Have an excellent evening, of course. And as always, remember, stay humble.
Stay humble. Bye.